Hello? Warrior cats? Can you hear me? That's fantastic. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. We will be starting very briefly. My name is Pavliniox, and soon you shall meet the other developers. It's gonna be big. Prepare for a mild scuff that may potentially happen, you know. Yeah, it's Pavliniox. Everybody else says Pavlon. Makes me very sad. We're kind of excited. This is probably going, just to give everybody a bit of a brief, we're just going to be kind of showcasing around one of our test worlds. Can't hear me at all? That's not true. Everybody say yellow. Put some yellows in the chat. Look at that. I see yellows. That's proof. Yeah, that's a terrible color. So we're going to be showcasing you through one of our little testing worlds. You may have to turn the volume up, tell your friends. We're not going to be the loudest here, hopefully, if I've done my job correctly. Going to be showing you a little bit of the territory. I'm going to be showing you a bit of the cat. Should be kind of fun. And then we're going to be doing a lot of Q&A. There's some stuff that won't be shown here. For example, like in some of our trailers, we had a version of Windshake running. We've been updating that. It's not going to be visible in this, etc., etc. So keep in mind what you're about to see is very like previewy. It's really just here to kind of talk through, do a bit of a Q&A. Am I buffering? Oh no. This is just going to be the developers showing off a bit of stuff. So you're going to be talking with some of the devs about what they've been working on. But we do have an announcement near the end of this stream, so that might be relevant to you guys. And then, of course, we're going to have a pretty long Q&A is the angle. Should be kind of fun. All right, without further ado, let me go let my friends know. I wonder if you guys can hear my keyboard. Let's find out. Noise suppression? Yes, so mods, to the mods here, shout out. People are going to obviously be asking a lot of questions. We are going to be holding the Q&A kind of after we are covering a bit. We'll try and poke a few things if we see them in chat. If something pops out to us, be a little patient with us. We're difficult. But we're going to have a focused time to answer questions near the end. So mods, you get to have the enjoyment of dealing with that. And if you see me typing in the chat, it could be me or it could be, oh, he signed. That's fantastic. Okay, let's go say hi. Hello, we are back.
Hello. Oh my gosh.
Hello.
We're here.
Oh my gosh, it's me.
So here.
How's it going?
Hello, everybody. Oh, yes, I love YouTube's chat. It's so easy to read, TM.
Look, we can see ourselves like lighting up and everything.
Fire.
Shoot,
So-
we shine like a diamond.
Little introductions.
I'm so glad
thoughts?
my PFP isn't JD Vance anymore.
That
would have been awkward to explain.
Hilarious.
All right, introductions left to right. Thoughts, really quick, for anybody who doesn't know. Just so they know who's talking.
Sure, Bev, you're first.
Bav, you on?
Hi, I'm Baveli.
What do you do, Bavelli?
I cat. I make the cat morph and I animate it. I cat.
Everybody clap.
Yep. Woo!
Bab's really good at their job. They make a really good cat.
Thank
I-
you.
I'm Bull Rover. I do project management and odd jobs. I'm sure everyone has seen me, whether they were happy I was there or not. Yeah. Nice to see you guys.
Hello, everybody. I'm Haha Booman. Many of you might know me. I run the moderation team, and I'm responsible for writing all the bad code in the game. Any bug that comes up, that's my fault. I did that. And otherwise, I'm responsible for sending people to and occasionally retrieving them from oblivion.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I'm Pav. I'm responsible for writing the worst code. You know, yeah.
Competition.
Vey has stage
Vey.
fright, so give him.
Okay,
give
I
him a
guess I'll
second.
go since Chris isn't saying anything.
You're next in
You're
line.
bro.
This guy doesn't know
Okay,
the alphabet.
I'm Vey. I'm the lead environment artist, and I am the one making the map for Lake Territory. Woohoo!
Woo! And I'm Z Knight. I'm the lead programmer, so I guess my job is to write the good code and yell at them when they write bad code.
Unite is notoriously the only one who writes good code.
Yeah, so you guys have
Some
got
of that
everybody
is.
here. You know, you got programmers, you got artists, every single person, all of us. Let's see. I think without further ado, should we hop them in the game? Well, us in the game, you know. You guys will, you know, eventually.
Also, just quickly before we start, I want to shout out our unspoken heroes, our contractors, who've also been working with us. Just quickly down the line, we have Floorlight, who's been helping us with environmental art with Vey. We have Amand, who's been doing all our concept art. We'll be showing off some of it later in the stream. I hope you guys can look forward to that. We have Blackout Dev, who's been helping us create some points of interest and some locations around the map. We have Graphical Elite, who's been helping create some really good foliage that you all, I believe we'll be seeing some of it today, Faye. Is that correct? Is it already in the map?
Yes,
remember.
it will in
Yes.
fact be in the map.
Yep, we have Graphical Elite, who has made some of the foliage for the map. It's really, really nice. And I think... And then we have Nick Friday, who made some of the trees that you'll also be seeing today. And I believe that's it, unless I'm missing anybody.
Yeah, okay.
For the most part, that is it. Yeah.
Then with that case, it's time for us to ball. That being said, it's being really difficult right now, so give me one moment. Give me my display now. Now. Oh, it works. Amazing. Does this work?
Yeah.
Ah! The void. We're so back.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
We're here.
Hello. Oh, it is me. So, this is Warrior Cat's Lake Territory, work in progress, etc. Everything you see here is very much showcasey. It's a work in progress session of our game. Doesn't have everything. Let me make everybody kind of smaller as I say this. But we're gonna walk you around, let you see some of our stuff here. This should be better. There we go, a little bit smaller. So where we're standing right now, I don't know if anybody could guess. I mean, if you might be able to guess where we're kind of at right now. This is going to be the quarry. So just for reference, we're not going to be showing all of the map today. Obviously, a lot of stuff's still kind of work in progress, but you're going to see a lot of some parts of the territory of ThunderClan. So this was our interpretation of the quarry that we're going to start with. And yeah, we'll talk about a bit more about the cat. We're going to kind of start with the map, I think, right, guys? And then we'll talk about the cat. But you guys will get to see the cat kind of moving around as I walk around here. But yeah, so obviously Vey's been working a lot on this area. and we're gonna head up into the camp for a bit. But just something to keep in mind is we've taken a lot of as you guys may or may not know as Warrior Cats fans, there's the information from the Lake Territory itself, like the books written in that area, can be we're dropping frames. It's so over. It can be a little finicky. Hopefully it recovers. It should only be temporary. The information can be kind of scattershot-ish. Can you guys still hear me, or is it just buffering? Oh no, we're buffering. Are we?
It buffered once for me. It's back for me.
Are we still back?
Yeah, Pav's got bad internet, guys. You're gonna have to forgive him.
I did all my effort to set it up. So sad. But yeah, you'll have to forgive if it ever cuts out. It will return. So you guys may have to refresh if it buffered. I don't know how YouTube works. Maybe not. That
And
might be
also,
wrong. Misinformation. I don't know.
if you do miss anything from the stream lagging, the stream will be uploaded afterwards, and you can rewatch it. And YouTube also has a great playback system. So unlike Twitch, if you've never used a YouTube stream before, you can very seamlessly go back in the video in case you missed something or you want to look at something again, and then click live and get right back.
Yeah. So, Lake Territory enjoyers will know the information on the territory is kind of sparse. If any of you guys played the original Warriors games, like back when Mandaka was around, like obviously this is quite a bit different, I guess, from what you might see with ThunderClan there, and even maybe different from what you imagine, and even different from a lot of the artists who draw Warrior Cats. So we took a lot of the ideas and themes and tried to recreate them in a way that both fits like lore, where the important elements are, but also kind of adding some details that we think make it feel like a coherent territory. We'll be doing a lot of Q&A on this, and if anybody has any kind of thoughts, you can obviously discuss them in the chat with everybody. You can even ping us. I guess we'll maybe just ping me. The other devs might not be happy. Or Bullrover. You can ping Bullrover anytime for anything,
Just
really.
ping me. We're gonna try, guys. We noticed YouTube has a Q&A feature. I have no idea how it works.
Yeah,
what it looks
we'll
like,
see
but
about
we're gonna
that.
try that out later.
But yeah. So Vade, do you wanna talk a little bit about this? You wanna talk about the quarry a bit?
Yeah, I mean, really, we went for like an overgrown, lush kind of quarry, sort of aesthetic here. I believe inside of the book series, how it's depicted is it's depicted a lot smaller, right? There's not this water going through it. There's not this waterfall. There's not really the overflooded base at the bottom. But we kind of wanted to really make it something a bit more special, and I think that's what we did here as well.
Yeah, so I think traditionally, as if you had a quarry kind of area, and we're going to go into the clan camp too, because obviously the camp's based in a quarry, but we decided to open up this area a good bit. So this is kind of where ThunderClan's nestled in, and if you are in the other territories, this is kind of one of the standout landmarks that you know. Other than other things like the Big Owl Tree. Like you will be able to tell that this is kind of the core area of ThunderClan, but their camp, I don't know if you guys can see it where we are right now. I'm gonna have to run up and around here. We're gonna kind of head a little bit through ThunderClan's territory. A little bit here. Whoa.
You gotta go up on the
Yeah.
cliff.
Yeah. On
Oh,
right
did
there.
I go too low?
Back where you
No.
Yeah, and then you go up there.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. Well, there's a bit of delay, so from what we're
Yeah,
seeing.
yeah.
Our instructions are delayed.
So as you can see, it's quite a large territory. One thing to note, this is quite a bit bigger than the ultimate map. And obviously it's got a lot more water. There's kind of two big elements, but we're just gonna kind of talk, mostly looking at ThunderClan right now. All right, let's head into the camp. Thoughts?
Wait, how much bigger is this map again? Like multiplicative wise?
Oh, I forget.
those options?
I think I don't know the whole map, but I know all of the entire map for WCUE fits inside of WinClan territory alone.
4
I
times the
remember
map,
that.
16 times the detail.
Oh yeah, well, WinClan is bigger currently.
WinClan is
Yeah,
huge.
so WinClan is bigger than all of
TM.
WCUE's map.
So I did see some people in the chat real quick before we enter the camp. I know people are talking about their PCs turning into black holes. Now, when we do get to a point where users kind of start joining this, TM, stay tuned. We expect that performance won't be necessarily perfect. I'm kind of hopeful that we'll have it actually a bit better than WCUE actually right from the get-go. if that's believable. Like for example, this cat model is actually much more optimized. I'll let Bab maybe talk more about that in her section, but this guy runs better than a lot of our stuff in our cat and WCV by a long shot. And even a lot of this foliage that you're seeing, honestly, has some improvements over that WCV work. And we're going to be spending a lot of time actually caring about performance with this one, because we really want to have this nice high fidelity, but we want to actually justify it by letting everybody play on their lower end devices. So there's going to be a good amount of time devoted to that stage. So
Yeah, I see a lot of people in the chat. I've seen a lot of messages that like, oh, my mobile device is gonna die running this game. If we do our jobs properly, this game will run better on your phone than WCUE will.
yeah,
That's the goal.
yep. And should hopefully crash less. You know, a lot because there's a lot of stuff goes into trying to make a world that's like this with cats that are like this. We've learned a lot from WCUE, and this game's kind of us trying to apply some of those lessons. But yeah, we'll head into the camp. And once again, guys, I'll keep trying to remind as we go here. We're going to be doing a bulk Q&A at the end. I may just pull out, like any kind of dev may pull out one thing that they see interesting, just so we can keep talking to people. But if you have a lot of questions and they're not getting answered, I promise you we're going to try and do our best to do a healthy Q&A at the end. So welcome to ThunderClan Camp. Work in progress still, but you know, got a good amount of work in its progress.
Also, for the people pinging me in Discord with questions, I'm gonna put them all on a notepad and I'll ask them once we get towards the Q&A section.
Behold, behold, behold. So they, would you like to tell me where to go and talk about it? I'll just be like a little cat that goes.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's
facing
pretty
towards the
delayed,
leader rock
so
from
it's
the
gonna be
entrance.
okay. It's a little delayed, so it's gonna be hard. But if you go to the left, let's start with the warriors done. So back it up and go to the right, I think.
I can see it. I see the din on the stream. I'm
Go
looking
to the
right at
left.
it.
Go to the left from what I'm. Yes, there we go.
My
We're going the
passenger
right way.
princess. Okay.
All right. So if you squeeze through there, there's a nice little warriors den in there. And really wanted to go for like a narrow entrance, and as you go inside of it, it kind of opens up. And that was really the goal with this, is trying to get these really crammed, like tight spaces. And as you go inside, it opens up and it becomes something a little bit of like a magical feeling. So that's what like the goal here was.
You can see you got some tree cover above your warriors den here when you see it. And yeah, one of the things I feel like we can talk about some stuff that we've been pondering just to see what people think, either in Q&A after when we discuss. But I know one of the things that we may be considering with some of these entrances we were talking about, not sure if it'll be a thing, is these might end up being tighter in some areas where you actually do have to kind of squeeze and push through with kind of some dedicated movement patterns that might restrict movement. And that kind of idea extends into some crawl spaces that we were considering. So we're hoping to have the cat, be able to move in more cat-like ways where you're fitting into tighter spaces and going into certain crawl areas. One of the things we've been discussing. So keep that in mind when you're kind of looking at this entrance. Something that we've been thinking about. Vay may have more thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's honestly we're trying to make it really interactable. And I think a big part of these like clan camps is you want to get like a magical feel, right? You really want them to feel like out of this world. So a lot of the times it's really like these small details of like having a cramped entrance, and then you kind of like enter something that's like bigger than you think, and it just brings out those feelings. So I think that's kind of it's buffering, but I think that's kind of the goal that we're going for.
Uh-oh.
Is it dead entirely?
Did his
Oh,
internet?
No, we're back.
There you go.
Oh
we're so
my
back.
gosh.
We're so back.
Unfortunately, hello. I don't know if we're fully back yet.
We are fully back.
I think we're back.
Are we so back? Are we back or are we so back? I need
We
to
are
know.
so back.
And
We
we're
are
gone.
so back. Yeah. I really do apologize if I ever buffer. I'm really sorry. I promise to get it set up. If we ever do any of these in the future, which I think we do want to do, we will alleviate this fully. I tried to gamble. I thought it'd be fine. I checked all the stats. Safe to say I was lied to by someone who's known for lying potentially. I guess you could say. But yes, Vay, Anyways,
Yeah.
are we lagging even more?
We
I,
were
I, I
for
No,
got
a
a,
you're
bit.
I
chilling,
got a
you're back.
ping. I got a ping saying I'm glitching.
Uh-oh.
Unless it's just the stream. Am I glitching?
No,
It's just the
you're fine,
stream.
babe.
You're fine on
Oh,
our end.
okay.
Fire.
Here, let me see if I can bring it back. Come on. It's trying very hard. One of our orbital warrior cat satellites must have been obstructed.
I'm getting a bajillion pings. Just
Only slightly
while we're buffering, please only ask questions related to lake territory.
Okay, we're so back. We're
That
so
is all.
back. Yippee! Okay, continue, Vay. Quick
All right, let's go to the leader rock.
to the
Let's do
leader
it,
rock.
The high rock. Yeah.
The high ledge.
I mean, yes. You might already be there. I can't tell because it's still late, so give me a
I'm
second.
pulling up.
Clear
It should
wide,
be
Vay.
to your right, like directly to your right.
Yeah.
I think he knows where.
I am on the rock. I'm on the
This is like
rock.
looking in the past.
Oh.
There's just like a 30-second stream delay.
Okay.
All right, bro. Anytime
He's
soon.
like, I'm on the rock, and he's like, you can see it above him to the right. Like,
You can go to
we'll
the
do
rock
like
now.
an animation showcase afterwards too for the
He
chat.
is. It's just the delay. You can talk.
Okay, my stream was delayed. There we go. All right, so this is the leader's high rock. This is I mean, yeah, there's not really much to explain about it, to be honest. It's a rock.
You can kind of see the whole camp from here.
Yeah, it's a nice little spot where you get a good view from the camp and you can address lots of people from up there.
Yeah.
I know a big concern has been the chat bubble from a distance. Do you want to talk about that and what we plan on doing?
We are going to be messing around with it to try and make it gooder. Because we know that, like, for example, if you guys may have noticed this without noticing this, another thing you might notice is, like, if you'll try to get a close up to your cat, your camera kind of bounces into the ground. So we do want to have that kind of default camera feel. So we've been kind of playing around with how we're gonna deal with that problem. But these are some very big areas, so I think we've been discussing a few different ideas for this, like for even to the point where, like, maybe when you're on the leader rock and speaking down to your clan, it handles the fact that you're going to be louder, right? Quote unquote louder. That makes sense. And once again, really quick while I finish, just letting you guys know, I know there's a lot of questions. Q&A will be happening at the latter half kind of this stream, so we're going to try and answer everything we can. So we'll try and pull out things that we see, especially if it's on the topic we're currently discussing. But if you have any other broader questions, we'll try and cover it as much as we can near the end, like latter half. But yeah, you can kind of see from here. This clan, Thunder Clan's camp, kind of actually shows a bit of the quarry feel. Oh, we're buffering again. No. Is it dying again?
No, it's fine. I think it just skipped like ahead.
Okay,
The-
okay,
the
okay.
delay got
Yeah,
cut.
we might skip every now and then, and I humbly apologize. Hopefully it doesn't do that
I don't
too
think you need
much.
to worry too much about the buffering because, again, I think YouTube's still getting the data.
Yeah, I'll sort it out. It just extends the delay afterwards, so they'll hear everything.
Yeah, okay.
And they can always go back to live.
Well, as you guys can kind of see, if you guys are seeing any kind of things that look like lag, it's actually just my data that's doing that. The game is currently running at a nice and healthy, shall we show? If you look here, we'll see we're running at a nice 60 FPS consistently as it is right now. It's probably stuttering on your screen, but like looking at the frame times, like we're running at a healthy FPS. It can probably even go higher if we really wanted it to. But like to an even higher FPS if we really desired. So lag is on my end. But yeah. Is it getting cooked? Let me check my okay, I think that's actually starting to recover. Okay, I think we're coming back.
Yep.
It's no longer dropping. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. It's dropping a few frames. But not as many.
We just keep going?
Yeah, I'm just keeping it on it.
Do we want to move on to another area of the camp?
Yep.
Yeah, show the medicine den. Let's do the medicine den.
Oh yeah, leader den, by the way. It's kind of cute. It's in there. You don't get to see yet.
Yeah, not allowed.
You can see
Wait,
this entrance is huge.
So I can be, there we go.
I'm right outside it.
All right. So the entire vibe of this one was trying to get a really like overgrown and lush feel. For kind of a lot of, I think, apparent reasons. Really wanted to go for this like overgrown look to it, and that kind of carries into it as well if you want to go inside.
I'm in. Trust.
Just assume that he's in.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the interior. If you, yeah, right over there is a nice little cubby that has like a little bit of a skylight that kind of peeks through into this like a little solo den there. I'm gonna let it catch up a second. There we go. And then I think if you do a 180, yeah, right that way, there's going to be the little shelf there where players can place items and a bunch of different medical supplies, herbs, things of that nature.
And then the sickly.
Yes, the sickly reside in the corner.
Just typing in the chat that the lag is my fault. But yeah, we'll keep looping around here. We can kind of move a little bit quicker here. I'm just gonna kind of run up on top of the med den real quick, just to kind of peek around here, and kind of read here. So just really quickly, gonna answer a few things I see in chat. Games compatibility on lower end devices and lag. The TLDR on this is during our first playable stages of the game, we really do expect it to be in need of work because we need to have that actual playable stage to really like fine-tune things we don't expect. But the end goal is for this to, out of the gate, probably run better than WCUE, barring some extreme error that's, you know, that's in the game. And then as we continue to work on it during its first playable stages, we're going to be putting in a lot of work to optimization because we want this to run way better on low-end devices. Basically targeting people who are crashing right now and make sure they can't crash, and targeting people who have terrible times playing the game and make sure they can actually run the game. And for people who are on phones and stuff and different kind of devices, making sure different experiences of the game are actually feel good to use. Things like the editor. It's all getting refreshed. So yeah, I think this is in here is the nursery, right? Oh, who is that? We're not going to worry about that. So nursery and the elders den are kind of work in progress right now, I think still.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where these hang out. Elders sit up here and kind of view down. The nursery is right nestled in between the warriors kind of area and the elders area. And yeah. Thoughts? We move. We translate into the territory.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to show off about the the clan camp, Vey, or did you want to move on to the other area, the boat?
I think we can keep.
Oh.
There's a couple other things, but I think we can keep that for later and move on to some other things. Let's move on to the boathouse.
Okay. Let's see. I have to engage my. Can I get there?
No, just do /TP space boathouse.
Okay.
Actually, if you want to do a little walk, just
I'm gonna walk through the territory a bit.
Yeah, let's do that. That would be nice.
We would we're going to jump into one of our interior scenes instead of walking there because we're keeping Shadow Clan's territory not necessarily fully revealed because we might do some more subsequent stuff to show it off, so just keep that in mind. We're just kind of trying to focus on one area. I know people want us to also just get to the Q&A part too, probably. So, you know, we're gonna head there and let you guys kind of enjoy the animations and then spamless questions. But yeah, you can see this territory is ridiculously lush. Red box. I think even compared to like especially compared to, I'm not sure how everybody feels about it. We'll see people's reactions in the comments and the Discord and all that stuff, how you feel about how the territory's kind of lushness feels like and how you feel the color scheming and the cat feels in comparison to WCUE. Obviously, they have two different art styles. People are going to prefer one or the other, or both even, or neither. And that's kind of expected. We know that's kind of a thing that's going to be going on. But yeah, the lushness has been cranked up quite a bit. This is still pretty work in progress. Kind of one of those things that I think will, like this kind of thing that will probably get a lot more iteration. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
And there's a really cool view there that you don't get to see yet. Okay, I'm going to oh yeah, animations. I haven't fully showed the sprint yet, but I'll run around a bit just to show off someone asked to show off the sprint, so I'll run through as the sprint. Keep in mind how it feels in each run state's a bit of a work in progress as well. You know, kind of see a bit of work in progress now on how we kind of zip around here, and of course Vav cooked. Burnt the kitchen down, dare I say.
Yeah, do you want to start showing off all the animation states we have?
We
Yeah.
can do that like a little later.
I thought we were
Okay.
gonna do
Wait.
boathouse first. Why are
You
there
can
two
tell
boathouse?
we have not rehearsed anything. But we can talk about a little bit of the animations really quick. Well, movement ones really quick. So you know, I'm walking.
If you press like 6 or 7, you can do the hind limbs.
Oh, should
Okay. Okay. All right.
Fab, do you want to show them the hind limbs?
Say that again.
We can do that after.
Say
Okay.
what again? Sorry.
Fab said you can't see it yet. Hee hee. Oh, who are those people? You mean them? I don't know. They shouldn't be here. I'm in an empty server. Okay, let's you guys are gonna
The
have to stick
NPCs have
here
migrated
for,
to Lake.
one moment. You're about to be traveled. So prepare. No one can see. All right. Let's do all our secret stuff that we are not going to tell them about real quick. Okay. Thank you, Chris, for that. There we go. Cool. Yep. Showing SkyClan. Okay, that's done. And okay, let's get out of there. Okay, let's rehide SkyClan, and
I can't believe you were showing SkyClan, dude. There's so much detail.
Yeah,
Dude,
Like, they're not supposed to see that right now.
/5.
all right, good. It's back to being hidden exactly as it should be.
That's a big mistake that you showed that.
Whoa. You're seeing the boathouse. It is most certifiably not SkyClan.
Or is it?
Canonically, SkyClan lived in
They're
a
in the
boathouse.
walls.
They're in the very thin walls. But yeah, this is kind of an example of our interior areas. There's a lot more to be seen with the interior areas, obviously. This is only just one small one. But we're not going to show literally every single thing right now, because I know, once again, people probably have a bajillion questions. We want to get there ASAP, so. Vay.
Yeah, I mean, this is already an area we showcased a little bit of. I believe like quite a few amount of people have seen it. If you have not, there's a trailer under the channel, same channel. This is an area we've showcased before, but we've done a couple of iterations to it. And I also wanted to get the chance to also show it in more of like a 3D space, as a player would see it a little bit more than just like a cutscene. So yeah, you're free to roam around, go upstairs if you'd like.
I'm just enjoying how the light kind of interacts with this cat. Sheesh. So obviously we're gonna be putting a lot of work for those who aren't necessarily aware, there's stuff that we do as devs to try and make performance really, really good, and there's stuff that Roblox does on their end. So and of course on the Roblox end, you guys can control your graphics level through this menu. So especially if you guys are on automatic or on like a low-end phone, sometimes this will be a thing that happens. Our job is to try and make sure as many people as possible can play on this setting, but the game can like walk down to this level, which this is the lowest level of graphics setting, right, on Roblox. One thing I think that's nice about this is you at least get a lot of your cat detail preserved with this, but you can kind of see it. That's kind of why we care a lot about doing optimization too, because it helps with the lighting and stuff. But I figured I would show how it looks on the lowest graphics setting as well, really quickly, just for fun. But yeah, do you want me to walk anywhere else in here? Ah! Don't worry about it. Do you want me to walk anywhere else in here?
I think you can show off the upstairs a bit. No one really got to see it in the
Alright.
trailer.
Yeah, go upstairs.
I'm navigating up. What? Ah! I am up.
All right. This is the upstairs. A little bit of a chill kind of vibe, super like a little dark, but also wanted to give this like kind of warm and cozy feel to it. That blanket does not have the proper collisions. It will eventually. But it's kind of just supposed to be very comfortable and a little bit like cozy up top. And then I believe you can walk onto the net over there, and I think there's some like the stream is like buffering, so I can't tell.
I'm on
you
the net.
exactly.
Well, it'll catch up. So you just keep
Okay.
going.
But if you walk over to the net area, there's like some exposed insulation, and just a little bit more detail over there as well.
Also, Pav,
Ah! I fell.
your mouse is currently haunting the screen.
Oh. I could actually probably just hide that real quick. Let me do that. Spare everybody the view of my cursor for now. There we go. Okay. You are freed from my cursor, if I did that right. So it will no longer be obnoxious to look at. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I will say there are a lot of other parts to the map that we're not going to show right now. Yeah, you're not going to see them at the moment,
But
and
they
we'll
will
talk
come.
about why in a little bit.
Yeah. So I know everybody's asking a lot about the map. I guess I have to give people a little tiny bit of context. If you guys have noticed, it kind of like, for example, in WCUE, like Wayne Clan is a good example I like to use for this. Devs, feel free to jump in if I'm saying something that you disagree with, by the way. But Wayne Clan is kind of really small in comparison to what you'd actually expect from the territory, right? Like Wayne Clan's supposed to be a huge open moor where you run everywhere, like hunt down rabbits with the long chases, all this stuff. But capturing that size has always been really difficult, is a good way to kind of summarize the problem. Each area has been kind of tackled as a much more distinct unit in this game, because we want it to have that really standout feel. But that means each area gets a lot of its own special attention, right? So some of the areas we're still iterating through, some of which we want to show you guys a bit later, both because we want to do a few final passes before we show it, and both because we want to keep this shorter in general. So keep that in mind. Not everything will be shown, but we're trying to get everything to a stage where it's showable effectively and kind of go through it one by one. And of course, once we're in kind of the playable state, you'll be able to walk around areas that are accessible when we start our first playable versions of the game. So stay tuned for that announcement. Anyways, yeah. Do we want me to magic out of here and head back to the territory? We'll talk a little bit about animations, because I know Bav here wants to show you guys some stuff as well, besides just what's here, if I'm correct.
A little.
A little. Just a little. Okay. I will probably play around with a little bit more of the animations in here while I can, just because the lighting's kind of cool in here. But let's see, what do I want to do? Mayhaps a stretch.
Is it in game? Yes, it is. Yeah, show them the stretch.
Ooh,
Show them everything we have, right?
I forget what key that is.
I'm doing it again. Whoa.
Just use your imagination that you see him stretching right now.
Yawn.
No, that was really good.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on, let me-
As a voice actor. Wow.
Yes. I know,
Phenomenal.
pretty good, right?
So this one was really fun to make. As you see, I have like some toe stretching. That was like from the beginning of when I started making the cat. I'm like, okay, I need to have the toes able to splay, so when it stretches, it can spread the toes out. So that was something I had in my brain for like a year and a half. So yeah, here's the yawn. It does a little like shaky. These were both just really fun to animate. I hope you guys can you show like a side and like a back angle too?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try this. If this causes issues, I'm gonna not do this, but I'm going to try and just have a really low FPS, low pixel screen share to you guys.
Okay. Okay.
That way you guys can actually see where I am. What would you like me to show, sorry?
Okay.
Like a side angle, maybe like a back angle too, of the stretch.
Okay. Yeah, the stretch is so satisfying.
It's so fun to do.
So this cat is obviously skinned. It can do way more. Some stuff which isn't even necessarily visible here, like this cat doesn't have any fur on it, and other things like that we've been playing around with. But it's a lot more fun for us to use, not gonna lie. You can see how crispy it can kind of look. And yeah, there's some animations that you know exist that are kind of like that will depict your cat's like current you know state, I guess you could say. Like you know here I'm panting, and you know cats can kind of express a lot more in this one. So that may have been really subtle, but I'm gonna do this again. See if people can kind of see what's going on there.
And you can give them like a close up of the inside of the mouth too if you want.
It's a really funny one.
Cats look so silly when they pant. It's really funny.
You have to tune
Guys,
into
it's
my
so much
live.
fun to like
You-
find videos to reference for these animations because cats are so like they're so silly. But I get to stare at a cat panting or a cat like doing funny stretches. Oh, here's the
While we're
scared
on
animation, the
the-
scared face. Like we have some facial expressions here. Something I also wanted to make sure with this rig is that you're able to like have a lot of different facial expressions. Like the face is very malleable. I don't know if that's the right word, but so yeah, there's more facial. You can see like the eyes are even like flicking. This is the angry.
By the
So
way, you should probably tune into the
there's a
stream I'm doing
smile.
on Discord. By the way.
Yeah, that shows
Oh,
what he's doing.
am I like way off?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Bab's currently orbiting Earth. There's a little bit of delay.
Also, while we're on the topic of animations, I just saw a question that I thought I'd pick out just because timing wise. Someone asked if the ear scratch animation is coming back from the WC beta. I know
Absolutely.
you're doing a lot of it. Absolutely. There you go. There's your answer. It's
Let's
coming back.
go. Oh, and once again, guys, we are going to be doing it. We're going to be starting a Q&A here, honestly, relatively pretty soon. So we're going to try and answer a lot of questions there. Just heads up to anybody.
I
Don't
have
feel
a
like we're
lot of
missing
them
your
tallied up.
questions. And yes, if you are pinging Bull Rover, he's trying to write down every single question that he can. But we'll just kind of see how it goes. We may also go. We're gonna definitely do our little announcement, kind of quote unquote end at the exact 2-hour mark. So in like not
Right, okay.
70 minutes. But we might stay on for a little bit after people want to. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, the claws can be played around with. So claws can come out. I sat. Hide.
Do you think you could get like a close up of the claws, like shing,
Shing.
how they like slide out?
Yeah, that sound effect will not be in the game, unfortunately.
No.
Shing.
Yeah, so you can just like turn the claws on and off just like WCW, but it has a keybind now, which is like huge.
And people will like this. You know.
We also did a lot
Yes,
of
we have
animation
limping.
stacking, so you can like limp and do your happy face or scared face or pants
Yeah.
at the same time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we finally have a proper limping animation. This was also like this was like a difficult animation to do, but it was honestly really fun as well. There's gonna be a front leg limp too, but I haven't made them yet. But one for each 4 legs basically is the plan right now. So you can choose which leg is limping.
Not all at once, though, of course.
I will say if they all limp at once,
Yeah, then
they
you just be
float.
flying.
They just
Just
hover
floating
around.
off
We
the
could bring
ground,
back Yon
hovering.
Cat.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, as you can imagine, this one was really sad to find references for this animation.
Yeah, the pupils in this game are fire, by the way. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and this is obviously still like very early stages, so we've got a lot kind of planned
Very,
with this,
very
with this
early.
lad. You guys may have noticed there's
What's,
absolutely 0 foot planting, for example, in this current one.
No
Cool.
promises for this, but ideally for the pupils you'd have like a slider. I don't know if Chris can chime in or something, but I don't know if that's that would be ideal, but no promises on that.
Yeah, we can for sure do a slider. This ties into a
Yeah,
question I saw
yeah, we
that's
can
really
do it.
relevant. Someone asked if keybinds are going to be adjustable. Yeah, all keybinds are going to be adjustable, and because we kind of expect to have, you know, a lot. There's a lot in Ultimate Edition, and we expect a lot in this one. So we're already doing an emote wheel, so you'll be able to scroll through a wheel and favorite them and kind of order them how you want. And again, the keybinds will all be customizable too.
Yep. And as we kind of work on it, we're hoping it to be really nice and easy to access, because obviously there's way more options. We want to give a lot of them to the user, so those kind of things will hopefully make it nice and easy to access. Literally everything. So many things going on. I'm going to jump back into the territory real quick, or should I stay in here just for the lighting? There's a few more emotes to show.
I think the
I think
lighting
you
on
can just
the
sort of
desk is,
move
like,
around scenically in the background to the areas we've shown while we
Sure.
do like the Q&A stuff if you want.
I'm putting my head down.
I'm staying
Oh yeah,
right
that there's
here.
head turning in the sleeping animation right now. That
Yeah.
won't be a thing. That's just a temporary.
Yeah, some of the stuff is ultra temporary, so keep that in mind. Like especially the head turning and the tail and body rotations as they're moving here.
Mhm.
And of course, no transitions between movements or idles and like sit downs yet. These are kind of all things that we're discussing, doing stuff with, because we want everything to feel that kind of like crispy fluidness as we kind of demoed with the trailer kind of stages. So, yeah.
And on
Little guy
that note,
sit.
I think we're good. I think we're good to go into Q&A. I think what we'll do is I'll start off with my little notepad of all the questions I've been asked in the Discord. And so I'm not going to be taking any more from the Discord for now. And then once we get through the notepad, we're going to try out the YouTube's Q&A feature and see how that works.
Could-
So
Could you maybe post those
ahead.
questions like one at a time in this chat, just in case there's like,
Mhm.
I don't know, like
I
one that we
will.
don't
Here.
want to talk about.
I
You know, put
got-
us on the
Yeah.
spot.
Okay. I'll post them, and then yeah. So
Hold
that's the
on.
first one.
Here, I can actually put a question on the screen, I think, while I'm cooking.
And how I formatted them just for the developers, I put username and then question.
Hold on. I'm doing my best.
So just sort of like post them, I guess, moreover at like at like some relatively consistent rate, and then people can sort of pick them up if they
Okay.
want to address the question.
Yeah, okay. Then I will put this one.
Can I make this smaller? Here.
This is a
Oh yeah,
Pav
of course.
question,
So, oh sorry.
I think. Oh, or Pav can answer too. If you
No,
know
no,
the
no, no,
answer,
no.
go
Go ahead.
ahead.
It's okay. No,
Great.
Pav, go ahead. Pav, go ahead.
I'm putting goofy text on the screen to denote that we're going to be starting Q&A.
There is going to be accessories in the game at some point. There's no accessories right now, but there will be accessories.
Well,
I don't know. Is that what the question is
may
related to? Or is there
Pav,
something
no,
else?
so
Wait.
Pav made a statement where we're only going to be
Yeah, so-
transferring.
So
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
well hold on. So let's start with that. So can you rerun the question one more time? I was putting stuff on the screen.
Okay, so the question is from
Can you paste it to my DMs,
Panthera
actually?
Pawn.
While you're still
It is
saying
pasted.
it. I'm gonna put it on the
Transitarians.
screen so people can read it.
Okay. Panthera Pawn asked, basically said, Pav said no accessories, but will there be kitty pet collars still? This is in reference to how we said we're only transferring natural stuff like markings and furs and stuff like that.
Okay.
At least at the moment.
He
that's
didn't put
our
it in my
plan.
DM, so I'm hiding this text. But
It's in the group chat.
is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm blind. I'm so blind. I'm super blind. So
Don't post them
yeah,
to
so
Reddit.
if you guys are unaware, I did make a comment about this, about how we are kind of starting with like, you know, kind of on the topic of whether or not there will be like kitty pet collars, kind of accessories, all this stuff. We'll clarify that. So let me get this on the screen. How? Wait.
And while we're answering one question, I'll put the next one in chat for devs to deliberate over.
Okay. How? Yes. Thank you, Pantheraphon. Okay. So one thing to note here is that you can kind of separate accessories from markings, at least to our end, like markings and furs. There's stuff that kind of exists there on the cat itself that gives the cat its kind of core base, like its pelt, its furs, its scars, body traits, right? As a broad category. And then accessories, which kind of denote things like what would be a kitty pet collar. What we want to do is we want to start with a lot of stuff that focuses on that kind of core experience of he's smiling. Sorry. We want to start with that core kind of like pelt markings kind of area, and we want to focus on doing a lot of work on that end. So things like a kitty pet collar, absolutely, right? That fits right into the lore 100%. And we're gonna try and kind of keep it focused around that element for a good while, like a good long while, and kind of taking things very, very slow from there on the actual accessories front. I think Mellow Bear's here. Hello.
Hi, Mellow Bear. Oh
Smiling for Mellow Bear. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. They will absolutely be around. We're just focusing on the markings and the furs and all that kind of core stuff with this cat. Going that kind of route. We think people think those are more important. Next is
We'll do the server size one.
here. You want to read out the
from
question?
Azatec. Yeah, so Azatec asks, What's the player count in WCLT? I assume they're talking about server count, like how many players in a server.
Yeah.
We aim to, at the very least, keep that the same as WCUE. We could do more, but that's just going to be a question of whether or not that's sort of feasible with our goal of making the game run well. If we find that we can push it, then maybe that's something we consider. If we can't, then we're going to prioritize making the game be smooth for people. So that's sort of the consideration, but at least as much as WCUE.
Yippee.
All right.
Sorry, that was mildly scuffed. Once again, guys, we're going through notepad questions right now. And then we're going to start an open-ended question to the chats. So we're trying to get there quickly.
Do we want...
I should probably answer this one really quick. We'll talk about this. So Will Be Way asks, will there be Skyplan? And our current answer to that question is there will be the future, which you will have to wait for. Yes. Now we get to wait and see people being like, oh, very annoyed.
You want to do the...
But yeah, something stay in our back pocket to make sure, you know, some stuff we want to have fun with. So yeah, I'm going down this list, by the way, and fixing your formatting. Thank you for formatting these, by the way. So Sleepy asks, will there be a way to... No, Sleepy asked something. It blew up. Come back.
They asked, will there be a way to find herbs easier outside of just memorizing the locations, such as scenting them?
Yep. Well, there we go. Health.
There you go.
That was a really well thought out answer.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
should just do that for each question. Yep.
So I think one thing to note here with kind of the game design element of this, especially with like things that are predictable in their location. So herbs are a bit of an example of this. Arguably kind of prey. If you guys have used the prey system in WCV, which is how would you guys word, if you had one word to describe WCV prey?
Cracked.
Erratic.
Bad. So we're gonna, like, some of these things we want to be a lot better, and a part of that is, you know, like oh yeah, there's our temp water there. Don't worry about that. Water's something I'll talk about waters. But yeah, things like herbs and things like prey and things like these things that don't want, we want there to be a lot better ways to find them. I'm not actually like I think the biggest part of that's going to be a lot of dynamic changing to the map. We definitely want to have a much better scenting system, and we absolutely don't really want to have them kind of in exactly preset locations. That's kind of stuff with the medicine cat and stuff with Praise that we're probably going to visit in larger scale content updates down the line. I think it's kind of our current thinking. Keep in mind this stuff could change. And that's mostly there so we can actually give some of these larger features a lot more consideration than we did in the past. We want the prey and all these kind of interactions to feel like really good when they come out. So yeah, we don't want to just have memorization. And yeah, for water, water's kind of an area where right now we're using a lot of Roblox stuff, like Roblox water. We're experimenting with other things. We want the water to be really good. There's a lot of water in this map, lots of different types of water, some of which we haven't necessarily shown in its fullest. But yeah, once again, a lot of the stuff in the map will be subject to change, and water is one of the areas that's getting some thought from us. We just got a lot of other stuff we want to get ready first before we revisit our water.
And one question I see being asked a lot, is about the game passes transferring.
Yep. Pulling that out.
This has been answered. If you scroll up in dev announcements, I've made a frequently asked questions.
But we'll answer it here.
For Lake Territory. But we can also answer here. If Pav, you want to give a quick answer for it?
Quick fire answer for this is the goal is yes. But the way that we're going to be handling transferring is going to be a bit dependent on what the game can actually handle. So let me kind of clarify what that means. We want to try and transfer everything that feels feasible to transfer. But this game is both in rig structure and a lot of other elements, especially in the way that the actual rig works. It works very differently from Ultimate Edition. Ultimate Edition is very limited in some of the ways that it works. So what that might look like to us is, I think at the bare level, We might, for example, do something as simple as Game Passes award credits, which you could then use on items in our game here, which, they aren't one-to-one transfers necessarily, because some things are in packs and things are not. But that would be the baseline idea. And of course, we're going to try and see where we want to move over stuff, but a good one for this is kind of the accessories side, like the non-markings, non-furs. Like a lot of this stuff, especially for a good amount of this game, we kind of want to be more careful with what we add in terms of accessories and stuff, really kind of stick to the Warriors theme for a good bit, which is kind of why like we might be going down a route where we want to allocate credits more. It also allows people to actually grab items specifically of what they want. Because one of the other things we were discussing is kind of moving away from like the exact same Game Pass format we currently have, just to make sure it has a lot more flexibility. Because I think people don't necessarily like having like 60 items put into like a very large bundle, and neither do we. So we're probably going to be going with a much like a rethought shop experience, pretty much. So there's a lot that's going to be rethought with that, but I guess the baseline answer we could give is that we want to do transfers, but I would think of it more as we want to basically make sure people can get things that would be paid if they supported Ultimate Edition, is how we're kind of approaching that.
Next, we have a question for Z-Knight from Lady Noir.
Lady Noir said, will there be an updated Starpedia or rules guide, and will there be a lobby or strictly a trade area? For the Starpedia and rules guide, yeah, of course there's going to be an updated one. Definitely that's going to happen. For the trading area, we 100% intend to have a trade server in Lake, but it may be an update, because on release we want players to, play on the main map and really experience the game before we add in a trade server. So it may not be there immediately, but we fully intend to have it.
I'm hiding. Wait, I gotta go back to a Skype real quick. Hold on. Yep, it's still there. It's good to see. All right, do you have any more for us?
I'm gonna post a couple. I have plenty. We're like a third of the way through my notepad.
Oh. Yep, and then after that, guys, just a reference, we're gonna try and pull as many from chat as possible. So yeah.
I think Pav, like if either of those, you can hit them if you want. That's not something I know the answer to.
Okay, let me do the. Sorry, I'm moving them over as fast as I can. There we go.
Those are low key Pav or even vague question because it's what he wants.
So Dahlia asks, will there be a clock system / time telling UI like in WCUE? And do we know how long the day-night cycle will be? So I guess we should probably answer this. I guess I can kind of talk about the I mean, Vay and I can kind of answer this together. I think if we had to answer it uniformly, this is something that we're kind of still deciding. To be honest, I think we'll probably stick with something similar to WCUE at first, unless we encounter during like a lot more internal testing that things are changing quite a lot. And if we are going to do a clock system or time telling setup, I think we're going to be rethinking that interface pretty much entirely from the way it is in WCUE. So they're both planned to basically be entirely redone. So yeah. I think that's kind of the answer I would go with here. I think we'll still have in WCUE the day cycle is 20 minutes, I think, and the night cycle is around 14. Oh, they're there again. I'm gonna go this way. And we will probably try and keep the cycles within a range that feels in that, I guess you could say. But we may also experiment a lot more with letting these things be more adjustable. I'm not exactly sure yet. It's hard to exactly say what people prefer. I think a lot of people will prefer shorter cycles for certain things, longer cycles for others. That's kind of one of the big things. Oh god, I'm going too close to him. I gotta pay attention where I'm walking. But yeah. How do you pronounce this one? 4NGE.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
It's just Angelette.
Angelette.
Is what it's supposed to. Angelette, I believe.
Asked, will there be seasons, and if not, what kind of weather will there be? I mean, I can't really give a definitive answer because a lot of factors can change about it. But I will say I've been like a very big advocate for seasons for quite a while now. I'm really interested in having the map change a lot more than just making the leaves white, the ground white, during winter, right? We want to have some big environmental changes. For example, let's say the boat in the boathouse will move from outside to inside with a tarp on top of it, or things will be more insulated, or there will be like maybe footprints of snow boots, things like this that just kind of like add more to it.
Yep.
So if we do seasons, it'll be more than what it is in WCW.
Yeah, one of the big things I think people would want with
Executive.
seasons is they need to feel natural, right? The tech
Yeah.
to even do that with how we do our foliage and other stuff in a way that wouldn't have been detrimental to the rest of the game, to be honest, has not existed for a good while. And honestly, it's just, I think just recently there's been a few things that actually start to pave the way towards us being able to play around with that. It's something I've always wanted to do in Warrior Cat since like the very beginning of the entire project, is have seasons like feel really smooth and natural. So weather and seasons are getting like a big think over. Like for example, in WCUE, we have a few different weather patterns. The light can look slightly different day by day. But with this, depending on like where you are and what you're doing, and also like how the weather feels, it's all kind of being rethought to give a really sick lighting feel, no matter where you're at. And so that also kind of extends towards the seasons end of it. All 4 seasons we want to have be really, really drippy. If you guys have played the Frozen Forest, like that's kind of I think that was like an example of what feels kind of like a cool wintry vibe. And maybe WCUE is like all white leaves winters are an example of like that doesn't really feel like winter as a season. This stuff can be kind of tricky, but we do want to have it be kind of something that blends smoothly. That would be absolutely sick, and I think it's gonna be something that will get. If we were to be testing around that stuff, it'd probably happen during one of the playable stages of our games, probably a bit later down in it though. So yeah.
And then I
Okay,
think
next is
doesn't answer.
Hamilton fan. Yeah. So Hamilton fan 963 asks, will the game be available on console? We intend to make the game available on console if that's feasible. For WCUE, we held off on that for a very long time because for a very, very long time, console didn't support chat. Our game is a roleplay game, and so we thought, no chat, not really a point. Now that they've added support for chat on consoles, it seems like adding console support is something that we would like to do. So
Yep.
if it's feasible for us to do it, we are going to do it. We'd like the game to be available on console. And then moving on, we have another question here from Clever Strike. They ask, will there be terrain foot planting? The answer to that is, of course, yes. Right now, it's not available in this preview that you're seeing, but we are working on that actually as we speak. And Roblox has introduced some new technologies that we're trying to leverage to take advantage of to make our foot planting look even more natural and even better and be more adaptable than it's been in the past. So foot planting will be a thing, and hopefully it's going to be better than ever, and also hopefully not lag out everybody's clients.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 goals.
Foot planting is one of the, if you have it running, has been one of the biggest sources of lag, and that's with a lot of work. So working with it in this one, and also getting it looking really, really crispy on a rig like this can become really challenging. Because with default foot planting, you're really only bending like one joint in a really predictable manner, especially with Roblox's default avatar. With this cats foot plant in a very certain kind of way. And you could even argue that this stuff like is not even consistent. They might change how they're going to kind of like plant their feet depending on what they're doing. They don't at all act like humans, and it can be kind of difficult to work with a reference. And a lot of the existing games that have beautiful animations, like if you guys have played Stray, like the way they get around a lot of these things is they grind. They have a huge team of really, really, really talented animators who push in a lot of work to getting them looking absolutely stunning. So we're playing around with some Roblox tech, and I think we're gonna be able to look like really cool though. But it's gonna probably be something that starts off very work in progress. Not exactly. I'm 50-50 on whether or not the first version you guys will see will be amazing or if it will be like good. So, but it will be there and it will be fire. I will say that much.
Okay, and then the next question we have is from Mousestock, and they asked, will there be head turning? Yes.
Yep.
So that's an easy one.
We answered that before I could even
Yes.
put it into the application. Dang it.
Good. I also have another easy one. Will the Lake Territory game be released with the cat? I didn't get the username for this one, but the answer
That's
is
a
yes.
tough one, actually. I don't know. I don't think we've decided on that. I don't
Yeah,
want to commit. I
really
don't want to commit
really
to that.
undecided.
So I
We're
will
thinking
ask,
dogs,
kind
to
of
be
Mr. Dean
honest.
here. I saw someone ask about like interactable emotes like in the map. I know we talked a little bit about that. Do we want to talk about that here?
Yep. I just put it on. I clickety clackety on screen.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we've talked about a couple times interactable emotes on the map. So if you were to crawl in like a space that was a little bit smaller, you would press, for example, like, I don't know, let's just say the keybind is F, just making it up here. And you would kind of go into this like locked state where it kind of puts you in like, I'm not going to say a cutscene because it wouldn't really be a cutscene, but more just like a forced trajectory that would like bring you through the path. If
Yeah.
that's
The way that I've been conceptualizing it on my end has been that potentially we might not even want to have a keybind interaction at all, where if you're just trying to walk through an interactable path, you would naturally make that movement. But some other ones, like for example, cats do a lot of leaping. They're very agile, and that's something that's not represented in WCUE. So I do want to do a lot of playing around with where we test about how cats can navigate terrain that you can't necessarily just walk or take a standard kind of jump or hop up. It's just one of those things that requires a ton of polish with regards to how it moves. So, but it's something that's absolutely on our mind. I expect there to be a lot of interactivity as the map goes on. It's kind of one of the things that comes with age, I think, with the game, especially when we get to that playable stage. So do we want to talk about this one? Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's talk
All
about
right. The question from Clover is WCUE getting updated after WCLT's release? So WCUE and WCLT, they're very different games, I would say, currently, at least internally, you could say. The core experience that we're going to be starting with, oh god, I keep walking too close to Shadowclan. Is like the core roleplay experience is like very much there though, but we think people will very much have a preference for one or the other, and we think it will be, we want to spend a lot of time and love with the community on WCLT in a few different stages of the game. You know, we'll talk about, oh god, he's there. I apologize for my way of answering these questions. I keep interacting with things around the world. But I guess the answer is we're definitely going to be maintaining it. We want to stay up. I think that you guys may have already noticed that kind of update cadence has gone down a good bit with WCW because we're working a lot on WCLT right now. I think that we will continue to absolutely maintain it at a bare minimum and try to make improvements to WCUE for as long as a sizable audience plays and supports it. But keep in mind, a lot of this is working with 2 projects right now for us. So we're trying to prioritize a lot of effort into getting WCLT ready as well. So it's something that we kind of change on an as-going basis. I just figured I'd be pretty transparent with you guys that are, at the very minimum, we do want to keep it maintained and running and all that good stuff. And yeah, I think mayhaps if we are interested, would we want to start kind of rapid firing through some of the? Do we want to go into the chat now?
I'm almost done with the notepad if we want to finish it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Dahlia asked if there's gonna be prey. Yeah, there is gonna be prey. Yeah. On release, we don't know, but as soon as we can, we want to make prey be a fun feature to like hunt everything, and it's a really complex system, so it's hard to do, but we fully intend to have prey.
Oh. Ah! I'm stuck in the water. Ah, I'm out. I'm loose. But yeah, prey is obviously a really, really complex system no matter how we navigate it. So currently, I would say I kind of expect that to be something that comes out in a bit of a later stage of the game, though. So yeah. And let's answer Ree's question. So Ree asked, will there be NPC animals like in the Forester Barn? We've discussed some ideas internally about having some NPC animals. One example that you actually named there is the barn. We discussed adding some NPCs there. But when we talk about NPCs, I guess what we were talking about was like animals. So if we're talking about actual characters in the world, this is actually one that we might have to hold off on a really good answer for with regards to characters, because this game is obviously official and working with warrior cats. So we don't want to really probably share anything we've been thinking with that, you know. I guess maybe the one thing we probably could say with regards to NPCs is that we've been talking about it quite a lot. And the way they actually be implemented is kind of we want, if it's going to go into the game in any kind of form, we want it to be a good implementation, I guess, would be how we'd put it. So it doesn't go in like lackadaisically, I suppose. All right, do we have how many are we going to be going through here?
Last two. And
Okay.
2 for Bav, and then we
For
can just
Veli.
rapid fire from the chat, I think.
All right, 2 for Bab. Then chat. We're gonna start going with the cues from you guys. I know you guys have been waiting for a long time to get your questions going. So, first one from Batsby. I put the timestamp on like a noob. Batsby asks, and this one's kind of for you, Bab. You can expand on it. Batsby asks, will kits have different animations from Apprentices Plus in WCLT?
Yeah, so definitely kits will have
People.
like their little bodies are built so differently. So they'll have like say a clumsier walk or a clumsier run or something like that. So they'll have like baby versions of the adults. Like something I'm not a fan of is in WCW is how the tail goes up when you walk as a kit. It won't be like drastic differences like that, but it'll be more like when the warrior runs, it's like very stretched out and collective. When a kit runs, it's very clumsy and it doesn't really look quite right. So yeah. And then the other question is from Pigeon. Will claws be colorable? I'd absolutely love to have this. Like you can have dark claws or like fur colors on the claws, basically. So yeah, I'd love to have that.
I typed it before
Okay,
we could. Whoops.
I think we're good for the chat Q&A.
All
now.
right. All right, everybody.
Are we using the system?
I don't know.
The dubious.
I tried turning it on.
Q&A
I think
system?
Pav turned it off.
All right. Yeah, because people started seeing it.
Are we gonna use it, or are we just pulling them from as we see them?
I don't know how it works.
Should we try
Yeah,
it?
was like,
We're
if it's
pulling
there,
this
we
from
try
stream.
it.
I don't know if
use
we're
it.
gonna be able to type them all out on the screen.
Let's try it. Here, start a Q&A. Let's see how it works.
Okay.
All
get
right,
Or
going.
should we just pull
starting
from
it.
chat? And okay, start it. Good luck, guys. Bear with us. This may be, if this is scuffed, we might change
Okay.
how we're gonna do this.
We're all
While that-
learning how this works together.
While that's
Yep.
being turned on, I saw one, so I'll answer it real quick. People asked, will there be events, Christmas and Halloween events in WCLT? Yes, we intend to do events for the game, just like we kind of did in WCUE. Obviously, we hope every time that our events get better and cooler, and that's an objective we're gonna hopefully keep going with in WCLT. Now, depending on like when the release
That's
actually
so
happens, how
fast.
close it happens to the holidays. If it happens to release close to a holiday, then maybe there won't be an event for that holiday, right? As we're still working on the game, but definitely there will be events in the long term.
Okay. Let's see. I'll do a few rapid fires here. So just on the topic of will game passes carry over from the games, as kind of touched on earlier. We touched a bit earlier in the live stream, but the answer is that we're doing some carrying over. It may take in the form of credits. For some things, it may not. It's still we're going to be adapting how we do it, because the goal is to just try and give an authentic transfer of credits for people who supported WCUE. But as these games, grow, especially WCLT, not everything is a 1-to-1 port. And in fact, what used to be like a 0.9 to 1 port is probably going further towards 0.8 as we go. So bear with us as we kind of go with that. It won't be something that happens all at once or like magically, But we do want to execute some kind of a transfer that rewards people, lets people access paid items. I guess the other question on that note that we should probably touch on, and I'll just do it once, is will morphs transfer? Will your morphs transfer from WCUE? That is a goal of ours. It still is. Now, in our first playable stages of the game, once again, something that we're gonna, stay tuned for announcement. But we are. That's not going to be something that's going to exist, aka for what you might call like any kind of stage before a launch, where I guess you could say like we're very confident about how data works or whatever you want to say it. It is one of our goals. It's going to be very complicated because these rigs are very different from each other. So transferring your morph from the WCUE cat to this cat right now, it will never look 1-to-1, right? Even right now, it's absolutely impossible. Like everything is already different. So the way that we're kind of looking at it is we're going to see how, if there's a system out there we can get that transfers elements that transfer well, right? Try and do kind of like a transfer of best fit and see kind of where that leads us. Is kind of the plan that we're going with. So I guess to us, the way that I've been thinking about it, at least, is that should at least allow people to bring over all their work that they've done, especially on like a lot of the like firm kind of marking field with their cat, and kind of have that in this game to work with, to edit with, probably to fix a little bit, all that good stuff. All right. Do we want to keep going round robin? Bay, you want to pull a question out of the chat?
How is the QA feature working?
I think it's literally just a bar at the top saying "Ask us questions."
Are you sure? I thought it like highlighted people's questions or something. That's what Bo was saying.
I was gonna say I don't
I've,
have.
oh, you can click on something and say select question is what we can do.
Okay.
Okay.
Well then we'll just pull them out, I guess.
We're just gonna be reading them out for simplicity, I think,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, we're just gonna be reading them out.
And there's a lot, so we're gonna try and do as many as we can. But if we don't get yours, we're doing our best. So yeah.
I think it also stores all the questions. So like like in chat.
All right, they pull one out. Let's keep cooking.
I don't have permissions to view the questions.
Just pull one from the chat.
Look in the chat.
Yeah, pull from
Just
the
look
chat.
in the chat.
Oh, you want me to just look in the chat?
Yeah, just look in the chat. Anything that catches your eye.
Or I guess
Does it
if
have
any
to
dev
look
sees
through?
anything that catches their eye.
Are people typing in? I can't.
Yeah.
I do not understand how this QnA thing. Is it actually a separate thing?
My brain doesn't go this fast. Oh my.
Questions about the
If you
map.
scroll,
If
Yeah,
you
just
if you
scroll a
scroll
little
up and
bit.
chat, it will auto.
Good point. Good
Oh
point.
my goodness. Sorry, guys.
Chat, start asking questions about the map.
Here, what if I just keep throwing them out there and someone can just say, "I'll take that." How about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
There are so many questions though. Let's
there are
see.
a lot of
Will there be duo animations? For example, nuzzling two players nuzzling their heads together from Nenavir. Bav will take
Love
that.
to do that. We've talked about it.
Chris will
Yeah.
take
Bav, what do you think about that?
I would love to have that. Stuff
That'd
like
be
sharing
cool.
prey. Absolutely. But TBD.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, like a
'Cause of
handoff
technology.
animation with prey and herbs.
We would love
That
to.
would be
to
so
implement that.
cool.
There's a lot of possibilities of
Or even
things
like
we
applying an herb to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question from
I know
Shake
that's something I've
Cloud.
talked about.
What is it? What's the question?
Missing limbs. Yes or no?
Yes, right? Right, Pav? Yeah.
If Bav
Yeah, I mean,
says
it
yes,
should
it's
be-
yes.
Technologically speaking, it's doable, right? We just hide the
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
And then you
let's
just put
say
Olympic
we would
animation.
love to do that.
We would love to do that.
Yes,
Transparent.
we would love to do that.
It's
It's
in the
kind of funny
game.
because the model's
Confirmed
hollow.
100%.
Be careful with the yeses right
It's
now.
brutal to do it in WCUE, so we're going to be with a lot of the work we're doing. It's kind of it's a design pattern we're avoiding, which makes it easier to work on when we want to get to it.
And it's kind of funny because it's not as easy as like in say if we were to do it in WCW, you just like hide the arm and then like you have the rest of it showing. But this model is actually hollow. So you hide the arm and there's just a black hole. Like not
Yeah.
a literal a hollow, you can see through it. It's kind of funny. So
Yeah.
we'd have to find a way around that.
Missing limbs are like a thing that's yeah, they're like they're more than just like obviously hiding a limb. And that's one thing. I think in Motor 6D you could probably like at least in WCs where you get away with that probably, right? If you want to keep it really simple, but not so much with what we're doing here. Kitty cat flower.
I found a
floor.
question I'd like to answer
Go for it.
from your friendly Anutel. They asked if there's going to be paralyzed cats. That's something I would also love to do. It would be similar to the limping animation where it would replace all of your locomotions with like a limping tailored to like say your hind legs aren't moving as much. But that's another TBD because it would have to be something that we add down the line. So that's a maybe, but I would love to do that.
Flower floor and kitty cat and probably a bajillion other people in chat right now are asking, will there be Star Clan or Dark Forest?
I mean, I think it's the
I
same
mean-
with like. Or I guess I can answer. Yeah, go ahead. Vic.
I was gonna say I think the best answer to that is like we want that, but it will be again not a thing that comes with release.
That would be like an expansion or something we would do like later down the line as like a big content update.
Yeah.
That's not something you guys can expect like when the game comes out. We really want to nail this area before we start thinking about adding all this extra stuff on top.
Yep.
I found one. Someone asked, will there be a bubble above the player to indicate that they are typing? That's something we messed around with a lot in Ultimate Edition, and we know how to do it. It's annoying, and we just never had the time for it, but I would love to get that in for Lake.
Yep.
I found
Okay.
one.
Go for it.
Somebody asked about customizing the inside of the mouth, like say missing teeth or coloring your tongue. I'd love to have that. I want to be able to color lips, gums, tongue, teeth, make yellow teeth, make like your lips black and stuff like that. So absolutely. Even like stuff like a missing fang. Yeah.
Avi, and once again, probably many others, asked, will there be a survival mode? For that, I'm going to touch on one of the other things we've been considering, which I guess the basic way I answer that is the current design of the core game itself is a roleplay game. However, we do want to use the foundations we have here to experiment with other ideas. So we've been having certain like concepts that we want to play around with that would not be like necessarily the core game, but like almost like a temporary access to an experimental version of the game that we may or may not do. These are very much TBD up to what we think would be fun to do and what we think would be good for the game. So, for example, like survival, like a survival kind of mode has been a component of that. The reason why we denote it this way, though, is because some of these suggestions, and especially a survival mode for a Warrior Cats game, that obviously anybody who's probably played certain survival games knows that if we did that by just putting a hunger bar in, it would not be any fun. So actually making a game have what feels like a survival experience, not like just roleplay, but with that survival element too. We would probably do a much more significant overhaul. We want to experiment with a lot more stuff. So if we were to try modes like that, it would be something that we're going to do in an experimental state. And we have a few big concepts that we want to try out with that, with varying names. So I guess the simple answer is it's something that we planned for certain like extreme interpretations of this game to take it with. Core experience is roleplay game though.
Just while we're in between questions, you should stop streaming on Discord. Now that we're done, like
true. I think I'm buffering a bit.
You are buffering a little bit. That's why I thought I'd chime in.
I saw a question about something that I've touched on in the Discord before with like how private servers, like special permissions on private servers. Something that we'd like to experiment with in the future. This is not something that would be on release. This is like this is something we might add. We'd like to add it, but you know it's going to be down the line. Is sort of like a custom server browser thing where you might be able to host your own server with your own sort of like rule set where you say like, okay, this is my server, and in this server we're going to be doing these things, and so people will be able to look at that and like, oh, if I want to join this like, you know, realistic roleplay or whatever, then I can join this realistic roleplay server that a user's hosting or whatever. It would sort of be like a private server, right? You'd be sort of like paying to have it, and it would be on a list, and people could go, oh, that's something I want to do, and they'd be able to join your server or whatever. So rather than having to do those in public servers, although you definitely still can, you know, we want to give people dedicated tools to sort of have their own little spaces where they can do their own rule sets and stuff.
Yeah, and to extend on that, I see some questions about this with private server owners control. I think the idea there is that we're going to try and give a lot more control to how private servers like interact with the community. For example, one of the things we have been discussing is the idea of maybe like being able to list, you know, your server, obviously, like and with like certain kind of rule sets, conditions, seasons, maybe even maps. I know 50 PRPs were really popular back in the yield days. That was basically, for anybody who does not know, like it would be the Warrior Cats, but in like a medieval town in some other kind of setting. And that's kind of one, like these are some things we want to experiment with. But I think at its core, for any kind of feature, really, I think for private server owners, it really, really depends as well on the like feature exactly. But if people are requesting it a lot with their private servers, it's something that we're going to be paying a lot of mind to during the earlier playable stages of the game once we get there.
We do have people asking this, so I'll just say it. When the game does eventually release, it will be free. The release will not be paid.
Yeah,
so
the finalized
comes out, it will be free.
Like there will be a finalized free launch of the game that is like open and free. It will like, but there's gonna be obviously there's more than one stage that we're gonna take it with, and we will get to that near the end. So another question I'm pulling out here is will there be fighting mechanics?
I think that's kind of in line with the survival question, no?
Yeah, I mean, I
Very
could talk
similar
about
answer.
this. Bav, I know we've talked a little bit about what fighting might look like on the animation side. It's obviously a really big part of the series. My first kind of framework for this is Bav would have to be very, very like down for it. So it'd be something that would probably happen after a lot of other animation tasks are slotted out, because combat with cats, to make it, we would want it to look really good. I know Bav would 100%. And that's very complicated. It's like duo animations to the extreme, right? And we're just talking about the roleplay idea there, where it's just animation based. Obviously, if we had a game that was, you know, like actual like combat, like in like some kind of other mode, it might be designed differently. So Bav, I don't know if you have exact thoughts on like really, if Bav says yes, I would really like to do it at some point, then it's definitely something that's going to be on our radar, because it is a big part of the series. But if Bav's like, you know, Bav, I'm putting it all
It's
on you,
a
basically. Good luck.
very huge maybe. Very huge maybe.
There you go. Let's see. And let's see.
If you want to look in the group chat real quick, I think, do we want to, Bav said something they might want to talk about, if you want to greenlight it? It's under the shark.
About the roles.
Oh yeah, go ahead. This question about roles. Go ahead and
Okay,
introduce it.
so I'm very sorry I lost the username of who asked this, but somebody asked if there would be new roles. Yeah, I'd absolutely love to add the new canon roles, like there's Daylight Warrior and there's Mediator. I think that'd be great to have. Something else that I would like to have is a gender neutral term for queen, maybe like caretaker or something, just like as a second option. So yeah, would love to have that.
Yeah, and on that topic, I know people have been kind of talking a lot about with like character cards, like, you know, your character's name, its description, and how like restrictive that is. We've been talking about that, and I talked a little bit about it in the Discord server. You know, like these are we're gonna probably kind of rethink that whole area. So some other, like, I kind of want people to be able to optionally not include things that they feel are important about their character, right? So, you know, at least in my head, the way it was kind of structuring out is like, if you, for this character, you may want to focus on like their role, then their pronouns, and then their description. And then maybe for this other character, you just want their role or description. Maybe for this character, you just want to have role and pronouns, and you don't want to have a description at all. And maybe you have an extended character sheet and bio that you want people to actually access that doesn't sit below your character. Because I know character sheets are pretty popular, especially with people making their own OCs. It would be really nice to have some kind of way to lay that out in game. So if people wanted to review a lot of information about your character, and if you wanted to let them, they could actually do that, and you could perhaps store that kind of stuff with your characters, right? So something that we are doing a lot of thinking about on that end as well.
Yeah, we're definitely at least going to give users like an ability to convey more information. That's a takeaway that you can have. You'll be able to convey more information than just your little simple bio that you've been able to do in WCUE.
Quick one is voice chat. Answer is, if it doesn't cause massive problems for our game's age rating, yes. Right now, if we were to put in a voice chat mode, it still makes the whole game limited to a huge audience. We'd have to put it as a separate experience.
Yeah, we'd have to do voice chat server specifically.
Even more, it has to be like an entirely separate experience on the platform, right? Like literally entirely separate game ID.
A lot of games do that and aren't age rated. So
okay, I did not know that.
We'll look into it.
Yeah, I would want to do it if it's nice and clean and easy, to be honest. But not for every server, I don't think. We probably want to have voice chat servers, non-voice chat servers, yeah. One of the questions I see is body types, yes or no? Bav, this is very much
I don't think we want to talk on that. I think it's the current.
Stay tuned for more info on this.
Yeah. Let's see. I see a lot of people asking about climbing. Will we be able to climb trees?
That was more of a you question, Pat.
Yeah. It's I would say on the priority list of things that you can do in the game, climbing and leaping from surfaces that you normally can't access is probably like one of the ones that's on the higher echelon once we get past like expressiveness, emoting, foot planting, and all those core things, right? So you kind of think all those like core, you know, things that happen with your character that don't interact with the world. And then the things that interact with the world starting at foot planting, right? like I would put kind of climbing and leaping around on stuff right below that. So it's I'd say it's higher on the list of importance. People say, will there be, or Toxic Gecko 19 says, will there be multiple kitty cat houses with interiors? Vey?
Yes and no.
Yes, nice vague answer.
I mean,
Good answer. Good
Good,
answer.
legendary.
I don't want to spoil
Can everybody
like
clap
a
in
specific
chat?
part that I'm not trying to spoil.
Oh
It's,
yeah,
it's like
fair.
something I'm excited to showcase.
Some of these
so I
things
don't
are a
wanna
little
spoil it.
tricky for us to answer, I think. So some of these things, feel free, guys, for the devs as well, to give like more like kind of broad answers of like kind of what your intentions are for people to kind of take away and like think about. If you don't want to give exact specifics, or if you can't, doing some claps. Oh yeah, maybe we should answer this one 100% Bev. And this one's kind of an easy one for you, I think, is like purring, growling, hissing. I guess maybe like kind of like expressiveness with like sounds with the cat. Is that a yes or a no?
I have been pushing for vocalizations for years.
Yes.
So, yes. Yes, I would love to have that.
I have been saying no to Bev for years. But in this case, I'm saying yes.
Imagine 80
Yay!
cats in a camp
Yay!
all purring.
Yeah, absolutely. It would definitely have to have like a option to turn it off for yourself so you don't hear other people vocalizing. But yeah, I think it would be great to have like trilling, purring, yelling, screaming, meowing,
Chirping. 80 cats
chirping.
all in a camp chirping at a squirrel.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
seen this
It would
question
be
asked,
so
like,
funny.
50 times now. Will trees be climbable?
We just talked
Did we-
about that, right?
we just talked about
touched
that.
on that.
Just
Oh,
to
yeah.
retouch on that, it's on the priority list of animations. Once we do emotes, expressions, and lots of good effort into like movement with regards to locomotion, aka like moving around the world, probably moving around the water, and we do a really nice foot planting setup, then climbing and leaping and those kind of catty interactions that don't get represented in that would be next on my list of priority, which puts them pretty high in my opinion.
And then I've also seen a question, and this is more of, I think, maybe a haha or Pav question. Will Ultimate Edition and Lake Territory share the same Discord, or will a new Discord be made for Lake Territory?
We're going to start in WCUE Discord. Most likely, I don't see that changing immediately. But we'll see how we go from there. I honestly have no idea how we should handle that.
My initial expectation of that is that we'll probably just have the same Discord. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to divide up the community too much, but you know, who knows? Maybe that's something that would happen. I can't say it would never happen, but I'd probably not. We'll probably just stick to the one Discord.
Yeah, although ideally yeah. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to do, but we're probably gonna keep in WC for now. Someone asked, will you be able to go underwater? Leopard Wing asked that. With an exclamation point too. They're excited.
That's a Chris question, I think.
Say that again.
They want to know if they can go underwater.
Yeah, underwater is an interesting concept because, like Pav said earlier, we're kind of messing around with the idea of custom water. So until we know exactly how that works, it's hard to plan out. But going underwater is a really cool concept we'd like to explore. Similar to, I saw a question earlier, like, could you catch fish underwater and stuff? If our custom water implementation, if we do that, allows for us to do that, we'd love to do a lot of cool stuff with water. But right now we have to keep it vague because we don't know how it's going to work quite yet.
Yeah. I think the way that I was kind of picturing it, generally speaking, I guess we just give a little context to this. Like, Bav usually has like a lot of context that she will give us with like how like a cat might execute a behavior, especially when it's more of like a behavior like that. And we'll kind of base a lot of stuff on that if we can usually, or we'll kind of do a bit of our own homework and see where it fits. So, for example, you can't go on water in WCUE just because as cool as it would have been, it would have been bad, you know. So with this, if we have a lot of good justification for it, it's something that we definitely do want to do. There's a lot more water on this map than in the forest territory, obviously. Ludicrous asks, will dens have more nests?
It's a vague question, I think.
Repeat?
Will dens have more nests?
Compared to Ultimate Edition or what we showcased?
Why not both?
Okay. I would say compared to what we showcased, probably. I think it'll be kind of like kind of a plug and play thing. If we think it's like a little bit underwhelming and it needs a bit more, then we can always add more. That's not an issue. I think the numbers are pretty similar to the ones that are in Ultimate Edition, so I'd say like they're pretty on par. But like removing some or adding some is not an issue. We can always do that.
Quick question I saw was how will UI work for mobile? The way I'd probably answer that is on WCUEs, a lot of its UI was designed for PCs only pretty much, and it just works with mobile due to edits and sometimes luck. And usually it works badly, even if it does work. With WCLT's UI, like mobile support is kind of coming like alongside all of that from the get-go. So the simple answer I'd probably give is better. If not at first, then flame us, and it will. That way we know. Flame me, I guess. Don't flame everyone. You know. Yeah.
You should flame me for UI on Lake also. Me and Pav.
Yep. But our intention is for it to be much better. That involves a lot of steps that we'll save on going into every detail of so we can keep answering more people's questions. I see another one that kind of we touched on earlier, which is will there be in-game VC servers from Hazelwish? As we kind of mentioned on, we do want to have VC as like separate servers. I think if it works for us, if there's no like barriers to that, then yeah. Ludicrous as well. I'm doing 2 questions from Ludicrous. Oh well. Their name's just so blue. Will we get illnesses along with injuries?
Stands out.
Yeah, it does. I gotta be careful. Illnesses with injuries. I want to do illnesses, honestly. I think it'd be really cool. Especially if like with regards to this might even tie into like server-side events like fires, illnesses, floods, like more dangerous than usual storms, things that can affect the map overall. Something I've always wanted to do, and I'd like to do it with this
And
game.
I know we've talked a lot about making like the medicinal clan cat have like more purpose and use.
Exactly.
And so that would tie in with that, giving more of a purpose for herbs and things like that.
Yep.
Which we've talked about.
Yeah. It would be really cool if events actually tied some of these mechanics together for people to use with. We just always try and preserve optionality, but especially in the earlier stages, if we get to this in an earlier stage of the game, and I think even overall maybe, we might be a bit more bold with some of this stuff. Kind of see where like we can make these things feel more impactful even in a roleplay context. I see another question here from Amino Acid about a patrol system. We've been talking about that a lot. I think we do want to absolutely have like a better system for patrols because I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like it hasn't really gotten as much love. So we've been talking internally about we've been rethinking patrols as an actual system. That seems fair to say, right, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Will the tunnels be from Steam City? Will the tunnels be fleshed out more than the Wing Clan tunnels in WCB are?
Yes. We plan on doing some really fun stuff with the tunnels actually. Essentially a big problem with the tunnels is that they can kind of get very bare and boring and large. And I think a lot of players are kind of a little tired of them. So we kind of want to do some original stuff with them. Make them a little bit more interesting. I don't really want to spoil too much, but there will be stuff in the tunnels to explore. There will be some differences, some notable differences to WCUE.
Pat, if you want to look in the group chat real quick. Is that like a blast when we started talking about the tunnels?
Oh right, yeah, we forgot to do that. Do we want to do that?
Completely forgot to do that.
Oh yeah, I recalled that the moment this question came up.
Exactly same.
Yeah.
That's insane that we forgot about that.
Okay, Bullrover, I'm gonna keep pulling questions, but go with Vay and start piping some of those into my DMs. We can pull them up, and then we'll do our little announcement, and then we'll have an after time for a little bit, and then we'll kind of wrap up.
You guys are gonna love this.
Vay, I'll let you choose the ones you like.
Somebody wants to know if you do classes, Bav.
So.
Oh, really? I'm sorry, I don't. But that's so sweet.
Roblox did feature Bav though on a specific developer forum if you're into Roblox development at all, covering a bit of her
It is
creative
in.
process.
I
Yeah.
believe we posted the link to it in dev announcements as
Yep.
well. If you guys can go check it out after the stream, it's a really cool post.
It goes into it, my process a little bit if you're interested.
Yeah, it is. It's in dev announcements, right above the stream announcement. If you guys want to check it out after the stream.
Some I'll do some rapid fires, then one larger question that one might like quickly lean towards you, Bav. Which once again, remember if it's like kind of goes into the I don't like TBD, like then that's fine. Maeve asked, will there be humans in the game? My answer would be, I think it'd be cool, but probably once again, almost like voice chat. If we were to test something like that out, it would not be in the core servers at first, because that's a pretty big shift. But ever since we did the April Fool's update, I wanted to play around with it more. I don't know if you guys have different thoughts on it. With controls with the game, I see a few more questions about that. Just once again, kind of touching back on that. Like keybinds are adjustable in this one. There might be some parity, there might not be. Remember, we're kind of reapproaching controls, and the way there's more stuff in this game, like with expressions and other stuff, and like that's even in this very, very early stage. So yeah. The controls may differ in some places, but they'll be same in the others, I think, like maybe speed up and speed down on PC. I see Kai asking, will there be any more sizes or ages available, such as newborn, large kit, transition from kit to apprentice, small warriors like munchkin cats, or large/extra large warrior? Pretty big question, but
Okay.
basically kind of, I guess, asking what size.
It is a big question. Right now where my mind is I'd like to have a specific morph for the kit and possibly a specific morph for the apprentice. And then if possible, it would be nice to have like the same morph but sized down or sized up for like between a kit and a say between a kit and an apprentice there's a smaller apprentice morph. Like that's just the same shape but smaller. So something like that I would love to have. No promises on the apprentice morph, but it's something I really want to do. Things like munchkin cats I'm against. And there will be more info later on about like other body types.
Yep. Do one of you guys want to pull questions while I'm setting up forwards thing?
Yeah, two things. One, Pav, I DM'd it to you. Two, haha. Okay, don't touch. Okay.
Yeah, someone asked, will we be able to carry multiple herbs? That is a system we have talked about and discussed and would very much like to add.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we got something.
Keep it going because I'm doing this thing.
Somebody asked about a max roll system. So something about rolls. If we do end up going the route, which I hope to do I hope we'll do one day, of doing the whole like players having their own custom servers kind of thing, then we can sort of add a lot more flexibility with how roles work in those servers. So users might be able to set limits on roles if they would like to in their own servers, or even make custom roles where we'd sort of give them like a selection of icons they could use, and then they could just like call it whatever they wanted, right? So you can sort of set up whatever environment you want. We want to give players more freedom to shape the spaces that they're in, ideally. But this is, again, this wouldn't be a release thing. This would be later on.
And while we're doing this, I figured, because we had it, we want to do it a little bit earlier, is some concept art I'm going to be putting on the screen, starting with some stuff with Wing Clan's camp, to show off kind of, because I know we didn't really go into Wing Clan, but I just wanted to show you guys how some of the concept art is looking for the area, see what you guys think in chat. You know, check it out while we are questioning. By the way, once again, for everybody, there's so many questions. We're probably not going to get all of them, not even close to as many as we wanted to. We'll try and do a bit more Q&Aing and stuff and communicate more details on this as we kind of go forward, whether it's through streams or actually versions of stuff. So once again, please bear with us if we don't get everything. We know there's a ton of questions, a lot of which like bear with us. Let's see. Continuing and looking, there's a few repeats kind of going through here. So for example, if there's like things about NPCs, and some stuff like any other thing we've covered previously in this Q&A kind of session, we might skip over it, but some of the stuff has been covered. We'll try and mention it where we can, but yeah.
Yeah, someone asked if you can carry multiple prey, same thing as the herbs. Would love to add that to seems like a really good idea.
Pep, I think this is a question you might like. The one Bav posted in the group chat.
Sure.
Is that something we want to answer?
Read it out.
Whimsy Tiger asked something adjusted to gameplay based on clans, such as River Cats swimming faster or Wind Clan cats running faster.
You
I
butchered
remember us
that.
talking about that before.
Yeah, you butchered that.
But yeah, I mean, we have been talking about this for a while. I think, through a lot of different implementations. I think it would be really cool if different clans that you're actually in had different kind of little things that made them feel really special. Just straight up with like the cat themselves. That can be a bit tricky because we're focusing so hard on customization. So a bit of a thing with that can be like, well, let's say for example, let's say like Shadow Clan cats move really stealthily in bushes, right? The question that we might ask as game devs is, what if people who are not in Shadow Clan want to have that, right? Because the idea with roleplay is you guys might want to be doing your own thing, right? Maybe you want to have a River Clan cat who was from Shadow Clan, so they know how to stealthily walk through like bushes. So that's kind of one of the things that ends up as a question for us as devs when we make those decisions. But I think it would be really, really cool as a concept. Just, that kind of implementation question.
Also, while we're going through the concept art, I just want to again shout out our amazing concept artists, Ahmad. They're also here watching the stream, I believe. They have absolutely cooked with all the concept art we've been given. Yeah, no, they've cooked like disgustingly hard.
Ooh, I do see
It's really
I think
awesome
a good...
seeing Vey bring it to life.
Yeah, they've been working great together. I see one question here that I think might be interesting to people here, which is from Vanitas about question: in the future, is there a possibility for the map to be both the forest and lake territories? Mayhaps shall I go at this one, lads?
Yeah, for sure.
Depending on what you say.
Yeah.
Okay.
May retroactively
So,
say some things.
I will say that I don't think we're limiting ourselves to this territory, but keep in mind, like, we are like the development and like effort towards just the lake territory is pretty substantial. I do think we'd want to explore different areas and have it connect in a way that's seamless. But the way that we might do that, which areas we might do, and when, whether like that gets really up in kind of the air. It like, I think I would personally, as an opinion, very, very, very much want there to be that kind of seamless feel. And we discussed a lot of ideas that we can't necessarily cover, especially with some things like that go into like any kind of like story element or event element. We can't always give a lot of details on right now what we're thinking, because they might, especially if they're interacting with like the official Warrior Cats channels, right? Or if we're doing anything like on that end. So some stuff doesn't get covered in that sense. Because, yeah. But personally, I would be yippee about it. And yeah, true. We have to treat things like spoilers carefully. That's true. Yada yada.
Another question that Bav pointed out from Ariel is, will there be a way to flip animations, such as instead of facing to the right, you can face to the left?
Bav?
That's a you question. That's a technical thing.
Oh,
it's like an animator thing, right?
Honestly, I mean, like, I kind of wonder about that. I don't actually know. I haven't ever thought about flipping. I haven't ever thought about flipping animations.
We
I'm gonna be
don't
honest.
know.
I've really never thought about
It's something we'd love to mess around with.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, it sounds interesting. I've never even thought about that once, actually.
It hasn't been something we've talked about yet, but it's a great point, and we'll definitely talk about it now.
I will say, sometimes we can't just flip an animation because that, like, there's symmetry questions that get involved there. So the idea of it is sometimes not. If it's purely technical, it would probably just be a yes if it was easy.
Yeah.
I saw a question from Egg. Will the plants interact with the player? Like the plants will move when you run into them? Yes and no.
You love those.
That's the second one.
I mean, we've talked about it. We've had conversations about it. We want foliage to be pretty interactable. It's a little hard. I can't really get into all the specifics because I'm not the programmer here, but it's not like I don't know. I'm gonna use Genshin Impact as an example. Other engines have different limitations, and Roblox has its own, and it's extremely hard to reach those kind of effects and looks in Roblox without it being super expensive to run. So I think it would be really cool to have, and I think that's something we've definitely talked about having.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not like just like let's just add it. It's gonna take a lot of conversation.
I have some thoughts on this. I think that I guess the short answer is I think it will be something that we can do and do in a way that's really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
But we can't necessarily do it yet. But I think
Yeah.
we will be able to soon. And I think
I
we
think
will do
in
it in a way
general, I
that's
think
really
in
awesome.
general, we want foliage to be like more dynamic.
Yeah.
With, like the wind, with player interactions if possible. We want players themselves to be interacting with the wind. Like we want a little bit more of an immersive experience on that front.
Yep.
For sure.
And just going to interject here and say we are coming up to the end of the 2-hour mark.
I want to
We
hit
can
one more.
continue.
Real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll try and recap this in a speed run for you guys because we want to get a lot of stuff through here. But we're at the 2-hour mark. We're gonna make a little special announcement here in a second. We might continue for a little bit after. Not sure how much, but it's gonna kind of be a bit of informal time. Final question I wanted to quickly answer though was about scenting and marking territory. People have been asking a lot about that. I do want to entirely revisit the scenting and marking and patrolling and organization of territories from pretty much the ground up, I'd say. I would want patrols to be able to be going around scenting, marking territory, and having much more like visibility about where cats have interacted. I think it adds to that roleplay experience. So, with that being said, I think we are going to end the official Q&A here. I know we did not get every single question. There's going to be a bit of informal time after where we'll try and rapid fire through some stuff. We'll try and do more of this where we can. And additionally, if you are in our Discord server, you can always hop in and throw a ping, and we'll see what we can answer and when. Just keep in mind, we're probably going to be getting a lot of these. But yeah. Shout out to everybody who stayed. But we're going to be ending up the questions now. There will be informal time after, but so if we didn't get to yours, please bear with us. But we do want to do this little announcement because we know people have been staying here for 2 hours for this. We wanted to touch on this because I think it touches on some questions people have had in a sense. So let me shall I do some epic text for this? We're gonna say epic announcement.
yeah,
thing.
of course.
Epic announcement. Incoming. Yeah. :D. Look at that. Boom. Wait.
Oh.
I mean, look at the group chat, just so you know.
Just a reminder.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
For anybody who's behind, you can't even hear me when I say this, but refresh up for our epic announcement. So.
Click the little live button epic. Because the YouTube video player is really great. Lets you do that.
So people have been asking a lot about like when this will be playable. I will now be able to say that we are currently in the process of preparing a state of the game for a 48-hour showcase that's going to be entirely public. So this will be a 48-hour playable showcase of the game, which we intend to use to test some of its most core elements for a very short duration. From then, we'll be pulling it back off the public world and continuing our iterative journey, moving towards, a future iteration of this. But I figured it would be time to say that we are going to be moving towards that 48-hour initial showcase. Now, in terms of a time, we have some timelines that we are shooting for here. We need to do a bit more on our end before we can exactly lock one in, but we're kind of in a range. So we're aiming for the next few months for this to happen. At the very minimum, it would be 1 month out. But we plan on announcing this the moment we can in our Discord server for when this is going to happen. And it will basically just go up publicly.
Not in it already.
Yep, the Discord is in the description of this live stream, I think. Oh, maybe it's not. Thought it was.
I'll spam it in chat.
You can edit the description, Bulver. Go ahead. Off you go.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yep. So, I will say it is currently placed over whenever it's happening. It's currently overlapped with a weekend, that 48-hour period. And to anybody who says that they can't currently join the Discord, if you are joining WCUE, at least in our current layout for this, we are going to be embedding something in the game that tells you about it and setting up a Roblox event for it and all that stuff. So the intention is that you will know, and ideally with some good advance about when this is actually going to occur. This is going to be a very showcasey element of the game. It's a good bit before other stages of the game that will come later, like a beta. But yeah. And once again,
it should.
The moment we have
Either
an exact lock-in, other than that kind of range of we're aiming for it in the next few months, right? Kind of aiming in in the realm of 1 month, but we might have to go past that to get everything right. Yep, 48 hours. And we're gonna make there'll be a good bit of time, especially if you're hopping into WCUE. Even you don't have to even you should have at least at the minimum. I think we want to have a week for people to know. Probably a good bit more about when this will happen.
Right, and so that's why we're not taking a look at some of the Shadow Clan or Wind Clan stuff on the map right now, because we want you guys to see that for yourself when we do this event. We want that to be a surprise for you guys, and hopefully you enjoy it as much as you guys have hopefully enjoyed the stuff that we've shown so far.
Yep. And yeah, once again, I do want to touch on this really quickly for everybody who's been asking many a question and sticking with us. There were a lot, and we've probably got not even close to all of them. I am very sorry if we did not get to your question. There will be a bit of informal time after this where we're trying to answer some of them. Obviously, you guys will be able to go back. People will probably there's probably going to be people who make recaps of this that condense down our yapping into potentially misinformation, potentially not. But yeah, if we missed your question, and we do humbly apologize, and I appreciate people sticking with that. I know it's been kind of a chaotic experience. All right, with that being said, we are very much interested in this getting to this 48-hour showcase, though. I should tell everybody that 100%. I think we can at the very least say that there will be other stages before a release after that showcase. Obviously, maybe we can probably yeah. Less drastic plans change, but that 48-hour showcase of some of its core functions that we want to get tested for that period are on our timeline right now. In that kind of next few months range. That's what we're aiming for. Once again, if you're in our Discord, you'll absolutely know. If you check our Roblox group or check our game with once a week or more, you'll probably almost definitely know, because we're going to be embedding it in the game and with a Roblox event. So you should hopefully be able to tune in to one of those channels and be able to be there for it when it occurs. We're very curious to see how we'll see.
And something I want to clarify, just because I saw people saying, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You want to, unless I'm about to spread misinformation, feel free to step in. I believe what Pav said is that the showcase will take place at minimum a month from now, not within a month.
Yes.
I see a lot of people telling others that it's within a month.
It is going to take us at minimum 1 month to get to the point where the showcase would happen, right? The timeline that I'm wanting to give as an actual one is we're aiming for the next few months, right? So at least 1 month out, maybe a month beyond that, right? We're only retaining flexibility because we want to make sure everything's ready for this showcase. So for example, someone mentioned the cat editor. That's one of those core systems that we want to test in this showcase. It has to be in a state where we're not going to we want to test everything we need to test with it. Not that it's going to nothing. It's going to be very nothing's going to be perfect. It's going to be very not perfect feel, but we need things in a state where they're like we're ready to test everything we want to test. So that's why. But that is something that is coming up as fast as we can possibly make it. We want to do this like pretty much the moment we can, I guess you could say. And there's very few core systems that fall within this showcase that we're aiming to do. That way we can get it out sooner. Because I know we've
Right,
talked
I
about a
think that
lot of
needs to
features with
be-
this QnA.
That needs to be clarified a little bit, yeah, because I see some people talking about that in the chat. This is not the release of the game.
Yep, not
This
the
is
release.
the showcase where we're showing all the map stuff that we've done and all the core systems like the cat's movement and the editor and stuff. But there's going to be a lot of features that are missing that are going to be
Yeah.
added in before we actually release the game.
Yep.
So this is an early showcase. You shouldn't expect that this is like the final product. It is a ways away from being done.
Yeah. We are trying to go as absolutely fast as possible, but that's super important to clarify. It's going to go up, stay up for 48 hours, and go down with like things like the editor, some core roleplay features, but in terms of a lot of the stuff we discussed, those are the kind of things that will go out like past this showcase for sure, and over time. And we do want to get the game to several different stages where people can play it. You know, you kind of think of it as like a bit of like a step-by-step process, you know. So yeah, and once again, if you aren't able to get into the Discord, if you play a Roblox game at all, when this showcase does occur, it will be something that's probably going to be embedded as a modal into the game. What that means is you'll be able to see it on the main menu, being like, hey, Lake Territory is going to be having a showcase at this time. So you'll know, even if you can't get into the Discord. But if you are in our Discord, we'll probably share a bit more details there, and we might do some more information. So yeah.
Again, feel free, I don't know if you just said this because I was looking at chat. I think we're gonna try and make it a Roblox event, right?
Yes.
Is that what you were
said
talking about
that.
just now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just to be ultra clear, I'm sure we're gonna have lots of misinformation about this announcement. Oh well. But this is what we're calling a showcase. It's only gonna be up for 48 hours. To us, it's before like if you were to put it on a timeline of where you name things, it lies before a beta. So it's in an earlier stage than even like a beta version of the game would be, if that makes sense.
Like
a much earlier stage.
Within the alpha umbrella.
Maybe definitely within the alpha umbrella. People know their kind of their game terms.
Agreed.
So yeah. So that's why a lot of these questions, like, they're very much like, I know we've answered a lot of stuff. Some of the answers we've gave with what we want to do, they could fall within 3 months, 6 months, etc. Right? Because obviously, even once this game goes into its final release, it would be very much like we would still be doing a lot of work on it, right? So all that good stuff. And yeah.
So I think now Vey is gonna go through and answer like 100 questions.
Yeah,
Vey, we're gonna need you on for another hour.
Yep.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, Vey.
You're not eating, bro.
So
Oh my god.
obviously some of these devs are up quite late. Vey in particular, for example, is in California. As you guys know.
Calling
6
from the
PM, man.
MacBook.
He's like
I'm
the
on the
least like
MacBook in the
Yeah, it's the
hotel room
earliest.
now. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep and a Coke Zero, and that's it.
Yeah.
You didn't sleep on the play?
No, I slept like
Stream
maybe
is not
10
sponsored
minutes.
by Coke Zero.
So yeah.
Other brands available.
So
actually, this is a question I saw that I do want to like answer before we end because I say a lot. I just never thought of a time to bring it up. I saw tons of people asking about free cam.
yeah. So I'm at a point in chat. I'm gonna kind of try and so any devs who may want to hop out now. I don't know if anybody wants to go to bed. You know, it's obviously 9 p.m.
All right, guys. It's lovely having you on.
Bye, Vey.
Thank you to
Bye,
Vey.
Vey.
Everybody say bye, Vey.
Goodbye, Vey.
bye,
You may
Vey.
eat now.
Everybody say thank you, Vey.
Everybody
Thank
say
you, Vey.
Vey is short in chat. Random.
Don't be mean to Vey.
Don't be
That's
mean
Sorry,
to
don't
Vey.
be mean to
Everyone
Vey.
say
Don't be mean to
5'8".
Vey.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Bye, Vey. Good night. Eat well. He's gone.
He's departed. Don't let the bedbugs fight. Okay.
So
Everybody else want to stick around for the informality part? I don't think it's gonna go on that one, but
Sure.
all right.
Yeah,
Do you guys
I'll
want
be
to
here.
join in the
Okay.
game and see if that even works?
It works.
It
It
works,
was
yeah.
work.
Meet
We
me
were
in the
literally in there
boathouse.
together earlier. Oh wait.
Well, I mean, we're all gonna be clones of each other, so it's gonna be
True.
kind of lame. But
Yeah, we're gonna be the same
We can
cat.
do it.
We can like write something real quick to change our looks.
Yeah,
somehow.
if you want to throw something
Oh
together.
yeah, just hold on, chat. Give us 3 hours. We're just
All
gonna
of us at the
together real
spawn
quick.
is
I
so
was gonna
funny.
like
Okay.
change every single part to a
Wait.
random color.
Go
When
for it.
spawns in the T post this, and it's so
Okay,
silly.
let me get that done.
So-
I actually have the code for that on hand.
I'm gonna
You
try.
do?
And, as we kind of go here, I'm gonna try and go through questions. I've scrolled
I don't know
up in
if
the
that'll
chat.
work.
I'm gonna try and scroll down through it here. So, please try not to spam a question too much. I know mods are kind of probably policing that a little bit already. I'm gonna try and kind of go through with some rapid fires in this informal section.
Thank you, Moz.
Try and get people their answers, but YouTube's chat system
Yeah,
is
shout
kind of
out
bad.
mods.
So
Hey.
it's hard. Will there be a badge given for attending the showcase? Unless I catastrophically forget, I think we badge every single significant point of the game.
I'll remember. Yes, I
Yeah,
have
note
that
that
down.
down. Note that down.
Write that
That's from
down.
Write
Cassie.
that down. Write that down.
Emmy asks.
I know there's a mod writing down everything.
can take
Write
it
that
up.
down.
Emmy asks, will there be some way to smell out other clan cats during patrols and such? It's something we want to do. Number 2, if you were to add NPCs, would they give you quests? And if so, would they let you earn an accessory? We can't. We're gonna withhold on answering any questions with that right now. Mostly because for many reasons kind of discussed earlier. But we're interested in doing stuff with NPCs that we can say. Corey asks for Pav, will there be beta testing? And will it cost Robux or will we have to sign up for it? I can tell you what I think we should do, but keep in mind this is absolutely zero confirmation. I can't wait for people to take this and confirm it anyways. I think we will do a beta of the game that is paid, but that could change.
Nobody listened to him.
Nobody
We don't
listened to
know.
whatever he just said.
Please do not listen.
That might as well have
Misinformation.
not been said. It could be. It could not be. There's been no decision made on that.
Yeah, it's not a locked-in decision. I mean, come on, guys, it's
But-
Roblox.
but
Let people
Do
be
feel free to
misinformation.
harass him on Discord if you agree or disagree with this thing.
Yes,
And if what he says doesn't happen, be
I-
sure to ping him plenty about
maybe
it.
some
Like,
relevant
listen to it.
information because they said, "Will it cost Robux or will we have to sign up for it?" I can say it's both have been being deliberated a bit actually. So it hasn't just been like, "Oh, we're gonna do. If we do it, it'll be paid 100%." That hasn't really been how we've been approaching it. So it's just that's kind of an easier option in a sense, and it that's why we like to do it sometimes. It sort of like it avoids us having to do a very complicated sign up process that might upset a lot of people if it doesn't work correctly. Whereas at least if it's a paid system, you just pay. So it's like, yeah, okay, you either have Robux or you're done, and then so yeah. But yeah, that's
good-
there it goes.
A good way to say these things that we're kind of being a little like this might happen about is we're being very flexible on development and the choices we make up until we make them. And
Yeah,
that's why all these things that are still happening in the future, we're still like, we want to do this or we might do this because we're doing a very flexible development cycle.
yeah, and at some point we probably
We're
even want to
trying
kind
to
of,
keep all our options open.
especially after we go to this showcase period, that 48-hour showcase that we want to do, of the game publicly. I'm sure people have a bajillion different wild suggestions. So, oh my goodness, you appeared on the screen with your, wow, that is terrifying.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I never saw this area.
Kind of on the question of body types, if I recall correct. I'm gonna try not to do if your question is a repeat, I might move over it. I'll try to especially if I'm like if another dev answered it. But I think that for that one that's something that you want to talk about at a later point separately, right?
What's up?
The whole topic of body types with cats.
Sorry. Yeah, much later time, please.
Yep.
And also, if we don't answer your question and you see it being pasted a lot, there's a good chance, like he said, we already answered it. We will be uploading the VOD. I implore you to re-watch the Q&A section, and you'll probably find your question being answered.
Someone.
Wait, it's gonna get better.
I've seen Avi ask this many a time. I've been watching you. Which is, will there be
Wait
an
for
in-game
Mike,
shader
Rest
system?
okay.
There will be definitely configuration settings. Keep in mind, obviously, when we're talking about like things like shaders, those are kind of things that, in terms of that terminology, that doesn't like we can do filtering and other detailing. So there will be some toggling, I think, especially with the way we've been approaching doing a lot of the stuff with visuals. But not necessarily. Nothing can ever be to a God, YouTube chat. It will never be to a degree that you see with with like third-party things that you guys shouldn't be downloading because it's made by some 15-year-old probably who's probably going to just exit scam and steal all the passwords from it. YouTube chat has jumped me down all the way. I was trying to scroll through it in order, and I was like, now I'm back with all the many questions here. So I'm gonna start from the bottom of the chat again.
It keeps it.
Haha,
QnA
look at
makes that
mine.
not happen.
Yeah, probably.
Look at that. It's gradienting and everything.
Yeah, it's fire.
That's insane.
You're like proper RGB mouse cat.
This is the NPC people are hunting for. RGB cat.
Oh yeah, colors. People asking about colors, or Hardemus asking about colors. Will we get improved / better organized colors? And they spell colors with a U, so I don't know if that's positive or negative for us. Whoa.
Yay!
That
Yay!
kinda-
Yes.
Yeah, the colors in WCOE are awful. Like they're not like the base when they were added 4 like plus years ago. Like it like kind of made sense, and but like yeah, colors should be very like we want to try and be very nice about it in this game. Not let people, because I think limitations are a big problem for that end. So I've been trying to actually learn a lot of how you were supposed to use colors correctly and where to achieve this. And we're going to try and add different kind of mechanics to do colors with certain things to allow for that. Neptune asks, will you be able to change bedding and create nests in game? I think it'd be kind of cool if people could build nests, personally. I think we've discussed this a good bit.
We have discussed this as like such a stretch feature that we wanted to do. But like, yeah, we would love to do that, but like that is so far ahead of the core stuff that we need to do.
Yep.
That it, you know.
But in my mind, yeah, modifying of the world, right? We want to do modifications that we create first, right? So like for example, we would probably consider things like weathers and seasons before this potentially, unless we thought one feature felt really interesting to do in a quicker time period, like maybe creating like extra beds or something. I know some things that I've been personally imagining, and any other dev might want to tune in here is like, or give what their thoughts are on this. I know we were talking about potentially people like rogues being able to set up, or rogues or loners, I guess, being able to set up like an area where they might live, whether it's in a clan's territory or outside a major hub, right? I think it'd be really cool as well if you could kind of find these areas abandoned in a server with some kind of history to them. Obviously, adjusting how camps feel. Like you can imagine if a camp merges into another one due to a disaster, right? Are the cats sleeping in makeshift beds or not? All these things I feel like would fit really well with the series, and I'd want to do them. It's just, things we think would fit a lot more are focusing a ton of our developers on things like making sure you guys can create your characters and them being extremely nice, and that all the expressiveness components for your characters are in, right? I've been jumped down again in chat. I'm so sorry. Ugh. Oh yeah, I see someone asking, will we be able to clone our morphs in private servers for photos? I would kind of lump this into private server functionality. I've been kind of I think we've been talking about this a little bit internally. I think it'd be kind of cool if private servers could do a bit more work with actually doing stuff like this. So when we talked about it, it was like not just cloning morphs, but actually people, hopefully one person being able to set up like scenes and record them out. By the way, once again, this is something that is like very much just in the discussion territory. But it got me thinking because a lot of content creators, I don't know if any have survived this late, but they'll do like stories that they record in our game. And I think it'd be really cool if the game gave at least some tools that actually helped people like make like recorded stories that they could upload, for example. So it's something that's been on my mind.
Yeah, seeing all the film crews and the work they put out has been really awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
My logic is
I'll just be browsing and finding something really cool.
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys.
I don't know if film crews ever be fully replaced with something like that, obviously, but like like someone being able to set up camera work during a scene that you play out with your film crew, maybe. Obviously the control over the condition of the map where we can allow it, and other things like that, right? Maybe sequencing background characters that have no dialogue. There's a bunch of stuff that we've been considering. I think it'd be extremely sick and would allow people to make really cool stuff with our game. So it's just there's so many things on our list. So if I were to be working on that, it'd probably be as like I have like I, or if somebody else was really interested in it, had like a week where they were like, we could do that. a week or two that could go in. If you ping me on the server, ping Borber as well, because he's the one collecting questions, I think. Unless he's not anymore. Did he go to bed?
I have not been collecting
Oh.
questions since.
If you ping me in the server, I will probably. I don't know if I'll be doing it tonight. But for anybody who's pinged me in the WCV server, I have not viewed it yet because I'm going to go through and view every ping, and I will aim to reply to every single thing. So
I wouldn't. This isn't me telling people to do this, but more of a question if they should. Should we have people post Lake Territory questions in the Q&A form?
I prefer if they just ping me in
those
general
have been
chat.
not answered. Those have been we have avoided Q&A and about LD
Yep.
stuff for the most part.
If I get a ping in
that's
general chat,
fine, I wanted to
guys,
clarify.
I will try and answer it as Pavlinios.
Yeah, the mod team will be the same for both games.
I see some questions about gifted game passes being transferred.
That'll be
That's
hard.
just the same thing, no?
There's some developer context to this that exists, by the way. It's easy or hard depending on some other things, basically. I think as a baseline, we think that since we're trying to do some kind of transfer process, like we'd want it to, like, you know, once again, as we discussed very early in this process, that could be through like a credit system or some kind of allocation, maybe both. It's like that kind of depends on what we can do realistically, right? I think because of that, we want to do it authentically. That answer would still be, we do want to do that transfer.
Yeah.
The feasibility of it, though, is kind of like if things lead it to be more involved, I don't know if it would happen at the exact same timing.
That would be, it's a little bit trickier.
It is trickier.
We can't really ask the question, does somebody in WCUE own this gift in WCLT? It's a hard thing to do. It's not impossible, but it'll take time.
I would say as a baseline, assume that it will only factor in items that you purchased for your account at this moment, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm getting pinged. Do you want me to share things I'm getting pinged about in the Discord, or would you rather just answer YouTube chat questions for now? Because I am now getting pinged quite a bit.
I would keep all your pings and reply to them separately, so people get individual responses. If you guys ping us in the Discord server, we will probably reply separately, I think. And ping me or Bullrover, ideally, right? Me, Pavliniox, or Bullrover. But if it's in the YouTube chat, we can kind of fire those off live. But, you know, if someone feels like, oh, my question's been skipped over for an hour long, I'm sick of this, I'm going to bed, they can just ping us and go to bed, you know. Let's see. Sorry that I'm getting slow on questions. It is becoming late. Would it be able to hide and bury prey? I think that'd be really cool. I've always wanted to do a proper, like,
wanting to do that.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive we've talked
Yeah, we
about
have.
that.
Yeah. I always thought that it'd be really cool to have an actual proper hunting cycle. I think that was even discussed for WCUE, I think, as a potential thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just one of those
Hunting
things that got
cycle-
scaled
For-
back a bit.
Yeah, for that prey event that we might have done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I'm gonna move away from the disco
If
cat
we-
because someone says they're having epilepsy and it's not an enjoyable time for them, so they're getting hidden behind a pole.
I can turn it off.
I-
Do you want to make them become your favorite color?
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Let me disable the color changing first.
it is a cool effect though. I'm not gonna. I don't know how you did that. You should send me that.
It was
Oh yeah,
fire.
I see someone mentioning
Yeah.
the toes separating. I wanted to show. I'll show the yawn again for anybody who's here like really late.
The yawn is so good.
What is my
Somebody asked about
yawn,
That's a good
sorry,
question
and
from
stretch.
Pineapples.
What's up?
They asked about the snapping between animations that happens, and if we're planning on doing anything about that in LT. I think we've talked about this, right?
Yep.
That one's hard to go into because of reasons.
That's true.
I think it's something that we really would like to do, but it's like a challenge. So whether or not it ends up being there is up, you know.
Yeah,
We
it's
want
not.
to do it.
Yeah, I think the fair answer is be like there will be a time where it is a feature. Some stuff we can't
If we
talk
can,
as much
if we
about
can.
though. So
Yeah.
yeah. because I guess the way I'd answer maybe is like the trailer, for example, like with how smooth all the transitions are. We're trying to get our kind of like our goal is to align everything to that like state, you know, where we try and smooth everything and make it feel like elegant in all of its movements.
It could just be very challenging to accomplish that.
I see someone asking as well on topic of animations about seeing the animations that are in Blender like in a raw format. That's kind of like one of those things where if Bav ever wanted to do a kind of a discussion about it, that would be in her realm, but it's entirely up to her. And if that were to happen as an extension, it would probably happen in the Discord server, but it's kind of up to the devs and if they, because it can be a lot of time to dedicate to do that and figure out what we can or cannot show and what feels right or not right to show, especially with the misinformation wars we have to fight. So yeah.
And if you want to see it, keep an eye on the previews channel because that's where it'll be posted if it happens.
I see asking about carrying multiple prey. I think the way that we could probably answer that is like
We already addressed that one.
We already answered that.
answered it.
okay.
We said we would like to do it if we could, but you know, we'll see.
Kind of in line with the herbs.
On the question of I see Whimsy, your question about the soundtracks and music. Audio in WCLT is like entirely from the ground up. Nothing will be transferred over.
I will be
unless it's as a
personally
cute
playing
reference.
all the songs. There, I'm gonna be doing it.
Yep.
myself.
Okay.
Our resident
We're
pianist.
gonna get you to voice record them
I'm the
all.
composers. I'm gonna. I got like a triangle. I've got like a xylophone, and I'm gonna be producing some bangers. Trust me.
The main menu
Rain-
music with Haha Boomman throat singing is gonna go crazy.
Rains,
Yeah.
to answer your question about this, but I think it might be some. I've seen a lot of people ask this outside the context of the stream, which is like, oh my god, WC is gonna die because WCLT comes out. Like, to be honest, the way that I've been like if people might end up preferring one over the other. We really don't know how the player's gonna react. Our plan is to put out versions and just see how people react to them. But WC doesn't. We don't really plan on it being killed intentionally or anything. And because these games are a bit different anyways, and we're going to be taking them in a bit of different directions, I doubt we'll be able to make everybody want to necessarily move over anyways. Like, we really are just going with the way that we feel is correct and the right way to do it, you know, for the community and also to make sure things come out, trying to balance those two things. So I doubt there will be like some kind of major death that we could ever guarantee or disguarantee. If people hate our first version of WCLT, like, I doubt that would lead to WC's player base being affected at all, right? So, you know. But generally speaking, when you see other games that have had like iterations to them, their older versions retain like some number of players usually. That's kind of just expected, I think, at this point on Roblox. So just play what you guys prefer, and we will maintain them. So ideally, there will always be a server, I think, is our goal. Unless people really want to move that badly to where there isn't even one server. That'd be kind of impressive, but yeah. Bab names all the cats too, by the way, guys, so I don't... What's up?
Pip asked if there was going to be quality of life commands like to allow people to like refill prey piles and stuff. I think yes.
And it falls in line with like the
almost
private server.
Yeah, if you're running your own server, ideally these things would be pretty much anything that you can interact with, like as a player, would basically be able to have existing a way for you to modify it at a larger level as like if you're managing a server. So yeah. Let's see. Somebody. So once Shadow Wolf's question about like, will WC be an upgrade or is it like a different game? I would think of them as different games, but they have the same kind of. They're gonna start feeling very like they're both roleplay games themed with warrior cats with these cats, right? They will be separate games. You'll be able to play WCUE or play WCLT, right? So in a sense, I would say we're trying to treat it as an upgrade, but those upgrades involve changing a lot of stuff fundamentally to where like these changes make it so we can't port over saves 1-to-1, for example, or port over game passes and items 1-to-1. So that's why it's not just like a pure upgrade. If it was a pure upgrade, we wouldn't be able to do a cat like this, right? Because there would have been no creative freedom.
I saw somebody
I'm gonna
ask
jump in
about
here.
Our brains all have the same delay. Let's go, Bab.
Yeah. I gotta head out, so I'm gonna go. Yo.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for
night.
watching the stream, everyone.
I thought you were gonna answer your question.
Bye.
He's going.
Oh, I gotta go.
All right, night, Zenite.
Good night.
Zenite, night.
Bye,
Night, night.
everyone. Said night. Yeah.
Zenite, night. Off you go.
We
That's a
can
good one,
publicly
plus
share
two.
our grievances against
So
him.
true.
Air that dirty laundry out.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
once
you've always
DM'd
hated him
me
for being the
2
better coder.
times in a day, and I think that was kind of excessive.
It was.
It was a bit of a toxic work environment.
I will also probably also, if this feels comfortable, I was thinking I'm gonna put a thing on the screen because it'd be like we will end at what 9:45 mayhaps.
Yeah, soon, very soon.
Yeah, like 12 minutes.
Look at this professional work. Beautiful.
This guy's a
Wait,
streamer.
there we go.
When's your VTubing career starting?
We'll be able to pick up kits, and stuff like that. Picking up is probably an interaction that's going to exist. Yeah. It doesn't exist right now. There's no reason why it won't. I don't know if it'll just be limited to kits or not, if I'm honest with you. But yeah. Mod perms to
Again, feel
people.
free.
I would want to do that.
There you
That
go.
way it's not just you running your server, but keep in mind we're rethinking servers a lot.
I saw somebody ask if eyelashes will be colorable. Yes, I want. Actually, if you look at some of the previews of some of the morphs, you'll notice that if you look super closely, some of the eyelashes are subtly tinted. But I'd like to have like eye colors and fur colors, so you could have like, I don't know, like green eyelashes if you want.
Had to be green, huh?
I'm sorry.
Let's see.
No.
I'm sorry.
On the question of how far can customization go for WCW versus WCA, and also an extended question about will you be able to switch between the two of them? Switching, if it's a way that we can do in a feasible way, yeah. I have a feeling the way that we'd probably end up doing it is like you could easily get from WCE to WCLT. I'm not sure we'd port people back because people who might be able to run WCLT would not be able to run WCE. And with customization, that's probably something we'll want to go into more detail on at a later point, but it can go further, I think it's fair to say. Because we've actually designed it better. And, we'll be working on a lot of issues with that better theoretical design as we go. We want it to go a lot further. Let's see. Oh, I see one that we can actually probably answer, Bab. This might be up to you. Someone asks, disappointment asks, you're not a disappointment, it's just you know what I mean? It's you. Will furs, markings, all that, etc., be move with the model, or will they be still? I can show you what it looks like for the markings if Bab wants to talk about, anything else there.
Like deforming, is that what they mean?
Yeah. I'm showing it off right now.
Yeah, they deform with the. Yeah, everything deforms with the morph. Like tail furs were bend with the tail and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the thing we want to do with fur?
Go for it. Well, I'll do a like some yawning and stretching to show how it's all seamless. Show the inside of the mouth because I forgot to do that.
Okay. Do you want to just like stand there and like go close up on the face? If you notice the whiskers, I've seen some people mention it. The whiskers like jiggle in the wind. That's something that we want to do for the fur, where like you're standing in the wind and like your mane is billowing or whatever. So stay tuned for that.
It's
Pretty
gonna be
excited
crazy.
about that.
Be super cinematic.
We are it's
Crazy.
gonna be
Yeah.
drip. Drip.
The wind will
Drip, I
be
say.
okay.
We want that. It's gonna be fire.
Oh, I'm stuck.
On the question of things like being included in WCUE if they kind of go into WCLT, if we do something that feels like it can help WCUE directly, especially on the optimization front, we might port it back. But if it's WCUE is very hard to work. Like that game's it's old. A big reason, and especially a big reason why we're going with this game is to like upgrading a lot of stuff with this game involves redoing almost every fundamental decision made in WCUE. So
escape the pain.
Yeah, to escape the pain effectively.
Rebuilding everything from the ground up. That's why it's been taking so
long. Someone asked confer prickle or Alina. I'm sorry, last name. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Confer prickle / stand.
Currently, no plans for that,
Well,
but it could possibly be like a customization, like you have
because of what we're gonna do with the
your
furs,
hackles up. You can just turn it on.
it could theoretically still be able to, right? Or no?
It could possibly, but we just haven't really talked about that,
Yeah.
honestly.
We haven't discussed this yet, I guess is the honest answer, right? Like, so it's more so what would you want it to do? Would you want it to prickle or stand? And how badly?
Imagine you angry emote and your fur starts prickling. That'd be kind of fire.
It can be kind of, it can get uncanny valley though, I think is one of my considerations. So, you know.
I agree.
Kind of, yeah. It'd be really hard to do because you'd have
Um,
to have the tail puff up and stuff. So really unsure about that.
For a lot of map questions, keep in mind I might not be answering them because our map artist Faziv he's going nighty night. But the map will be something that we'll be able to experience more of, you know, as we kind of go forward with it. You know, obviously stay tuned for that kind of stuff going down the line, like that 48-hour showcase we're going to be planning out. All the good stuff.
Somebody, wait, let me find their name. Hold up. I completely lost the comment.
While you're looking, I see a WCUE question that I'll answer just because I can. Why not? Which is there going to be a summer update for WCUE? There's an editor rework that's like on the brink of being launched for WCUE with some new items and stuff. So that's also happening. I've been taking longer than I should.
Somebody named Zach asked how we're doing, which is really kind.
I'm doing great. Personally.
I'm doing fine.
I mean, look at my cat.
I'm doing
Could be
great.
worse. Doing pretty good.
That's so true.
Yeah, where's my cat? Where's Penelope?
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen my cat in so long.
I see questions about prey, like
I haven't seen him in like 2 hours.
Rats in general. Other questions with prey. One like prey in WCLT is going to be like probably so it's going to be entirely built from ground up. That includes what kind of prey and how it works in its entirety. So I think a goal of that is going to be to actually have lots more variety and include the ones that we missed. And on the topic of mobile player lag, we kind of covered this a bit earlier, but once again, like I think out of the gate, it'll run better than WCUE, like literally out of the gate. And it will ideally improve. We're going to be improving it over time. It's a big focus point of ours. That's kind of one of the major appeals we want this game to have is not just lag be better, but like actual usability be better. Because I know mobile players, for example, like, you know, when we're talking about the editor, that can involve like, it's hard for you guys to tap and color stuff right now, you know, in the WCUE editor. So it's stuff like that too that we want to make better. I'm going to step up for just a second and stretch if you guys want to answer one or two as we approach our cutoff.
Yeah. 4 more minutes. It
Seeing
approaches.
if there's a lot of repeats here.
Somebody asked if there's a stretch emote. I wonder.
I don't know yet.
You'll have to find out at the showcase. But again, like Haha said, lots of repeat questions. If you're coming to the stream late or maybe you tuned out for a bit, highly recommend rewatching the entire Q&A section. If you're seeing your same question asked a lot, it was probably already answered.
Yeah, a lot of these have been answered. We've already talked about player sizes and voice chat, and we've touched on those things.
Ooh, somebody asked about different types of blindness. Yeah, I want to be able to have like full cloudy left or right or both eyes. I want to have like cataracts where only the pupil is cloudy. Get it? Cataracts.
Cataract. Yeah, the eyes in this game are so like flexible.
It's really funny. Yes. Ooh, I want to have like actually I made it so the pupils are like tintable, like only just a little bit. Like the default morph has very like bluish highlights to the pupil. And I'd like to have an option where you can like color it with eye colors and like tint it to like greenish or yellowish or something. But very, very subtle. Like this morph has slightly like turquoise. Sorry.
Right on the bottom. Yeah.
No, I don't want to cut you off. Finish your thing.
No, it's okay. That's it. It's okay.
People are asking about a lobby. I don't think we're going to be adding a lobby back. The lobby kind of like makes it so that a lot less players are actually in the game. That's sort of counterproductive. We hope to sort of address the problems that the lobby solved with the server shenanigans that we want to be doing.
Yeah. A big thing on Roblox, for context there, is like getting people into the gameplay really, really fast is a big part of it. So that's kind of why that's been a consideration. It makes it kind of like infeasible to just add a part where you go into a lobby first, then into the world. You know, it's like an extra step. So we'd have to have insane justifications for that, obviously.
The giant glass platform. If you know, you know.
I do not know.
What about those like red bricks that you step on to make a different morph?
Do you want to talk about lip syncing at all? Stuff with that?
If you want to, that's a you thing, really.
Yay. It's hard. It's hard to do.
Wait, I do have one rule. I do have one rule. Wait, pause. While you speak, you have to lip sync with P in like pressing P in the morph. In the game.
It's very hard to do.
To lip sync to your own speech.
You could do it right now, and with some of our other expressive features, you could get something going.
Yeah.
In terms
it's
of
like a question of whether it's Grug or not, right?
If we do it to be automagic and it looks bad, you make fun of us. And then we get sad. It's very hard to do lip syncing, especially because cats don't talk. So we just have to come up with how sounds work. And also, we have lots of players from other countries. I can maybe do it with English, but Cyrillic players, I don't know. It would be
he's
hard.
just hitting the P button right now. This isn't like an auto magic system that we have in the game.
He's spamming the pant button right now.
He's manually
guys,
doing this.
Pav, you heard it here first. He confirmed automatic lip syncing.
I think the thing is making it like look good and actually line up with words is really, really hard. Could we just have like your mouth move up and down like for some duration after you type? That would be doable. Would that look good? Maybe, maybe not. Like that would be something that we'd have to look into, right? Yeah, it's hard.
I see a question that actually is kind of interesting. Someone asking, we'll be able to adjust where scars are from Sentinel. It's kind of an interesting one. Because I think traditionally we kind of are like, you turn on a scar at a certain point in the body.
There will not be an age limit for the game. The
game
is all ages.
I hope this answers your scar question. Thank you. It's an interesting idea. It could be doable as well.
One last question. Any dev pick one. This will be our final question.
All right. Let's see. Everybody repost your hard hitting questions. The mods are going to be crying. Are there any mods left?
Again, if your question didn't get answered, I first ask that you rewatch the stream, especially any parts you may have missed or not been there for.
And if you don't feel like rewatching it,
don't see your question answered,
wait for one of your favorite content creators to make a potentially accurate recap. Smile.
Oh, I've already had one here.
All right,
it's from
our last one.
It's from I'm_real user, and they ask, why is Haha Booman so talented? That's a difficult one to answer. I think it's really multifaceted. I'm glad you picked up on it, but maybe this is something we'll touch on in the future. I think it would take a long time to explain all the ins and outs of that.
We've been studying him.
He has a great lore.
We don't know yet.
The only problem with your question is in lore, Z-Knight is the best programmer, so that doesn't really follow like the lore motives, but it is a good question.
Rapid firing. Will I be able to be missing?
It's very true.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so many questions. This just shows how many we missed.
No, but I was gonna say before I was cut off by that amazing question. If you don't see your question being answered after rewatching the stream, or from your favorite content creator's post, like Pav said, feel free to ping either me, him, or both of us.
Yes.
In the Warrior Cats Discord, and we will try our best to get back to you.
Yes.
Even then, we still may not, because I'm already at like 30-40 pings and counting.
I'm going to go through each ping.
We will do our best.
That I get. It might just take
Pav
more
at least
than a
will
day.
go through each one, but we are human. We might miss it. We apologize.
Yep. So, yeah. So from there, if your question wasn't gotten to, we're gonna I think we're gonna end the informal question session, wrapping this up now. So we're gonna do no more answers. So if you did not get it, it may have been like, once again, a lot of a good few of these still, like, for example, that one about bios and stuff. We've touched
There's a
on
lot of
that was
repeats
a
in the
very
chat,
long
yeah.
ago, obviously. But we did touch on that. But if you aren't sure, you have all those options available too. So, yep. Once again, I'm very, very sorry if we didn't get to it, but hopefully with those options, you will get your question answered for you through a ping, for example.
And before we end off, I just wanted to say a thank you to our community. You guys have
Yeah.
all been really amazing. It's been really awesome showing you guys what we've been working on and seeing all the feedback, all the suggestions. We do look at them. Have been really awesome to see. And yeah, I just, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you guys. It's really awesome to have a cool community like you guys. I'm really bad at these kind of
Retweet.
things. I just wanted to talk about how much we appreciate you.
So yes, there I still
I have
see
one thing
some
to
good
say.
questions appearing infrequently. I will say one final
Pav
time.
has something to say. Shut up, Pav.
I have
My
one
bad.
thing to say. That was not necessary. New marking preview soon. Yay.
Whee! I've already seen them, and they're awesome.
I've already seen them.
Oh, are you talking
Yeah,
about
not to
that?
brag. I've already seen them.
There's a lot
I've
of cool
already seen
stuff
them.
that hasn't been shown yet in this one. We kept the showcase very trimmed down, so yeah.
I will say one thing I do actually want to share, because it's something that is very intimate to me. Today has been the first day that I have loaded in to our Lake Territory map and being able to run out as a cat, and it felt amazing. And I'm really looking forward to the time when you guys are gonna be able to play the showcase and feel what I felt, because I think you guys have a lot to look forward to, and it's gonna be really awesome. I just want to share that because it really is. It's really cool. And I think you guys are going to really like it, because it's one thing watching our developers sharing their screen, showing me and everyone else what they've been working on, but like being in the game, it's insane. I think you'll be able to feel that too. Just the difference between watching this live stream of us showing you everything and then being in here yourself. It's really awesome.
All right, everybody.
That's all for me. I have one more.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys.
And
this is really fun.
If you think we should do more of these, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. And if you think we should never do a stream again, then drop a dislike and a comment saying never do this again.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is
and
right.
then we're gonna delete your comments.
Those are your only two options.
Blacklist you.
I will look at your comment
and then
in my
delete the channel.
notifications and be like, "Oh, we did bad."
It's gonna be sad.
All right. How do we wave? What's the wave again?
Where's the wave meanwhile?
I'm stretching.
We'll stretch. We'll stretch.
All right, ready? All right, everybody.
Wait, I don't know the.
Oh,
I
wait.
don't know the button.
Sorry.
3, 2, 1. Goodbye. Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Who did?
Wait. What the heck? It can change sizes. Goodbye. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.
Have a good
night, good
evening, morning, night. Thank you
Everyone
guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for your questions. Thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate you guys.
Cycle, of the
Make sure
world.
to smash that like button.
Yeah,
hit the notification bell.
Yep.
And subscribe.